Nervous, excited, you bet. Those are good. I used to get nervous before games. I used to get excited. Can't wait for it to get here, but never really felt as much pressure because I thought I'd done everything I could to get ready.
How close did you come to retiring when you did suffer the neck injury and you contemplated it for a long time? And then, of course, you came back to get to the top of the mountain again with Denver.
Yeah, certainly it was the first time I'd ever had to go through an injury like that. I had this great string of health prior to that, and have a neck situation requires multiple neck surgeries to fix it, and then of all things, it causes nerve damage in your right arm and right hand, and it was the greatest professional challenge I've had to go through. I certainly knew that was going to be a possibility. You know, I kind of got cleared by my doctors from a neck standpoint. They said, Peyton, your neck's secure. If you were my own son, I'd let you play. It's just a matter of whether you think you can perform or not with this nerve damage. And anybody that's ever had nerve damage, there's no real major cure there. It's kind of time, and they kind of come back when they want to come back. And I used to wake up every day saying, today needs to be the day. I need you to come back, and it wouldn't. So but I guess more than anything, I just kind of learned to adjust and to be flexible, and I kind of came to the conclusion that I couldn't play the same way that I used to play, but if I could use my legs and use my football experience, maybe I still can remain an effective quarterback. And so, you know, as miserable as it was to miss an entire season and have to change teams and all that, you're almost kind of glad that you at least know you could get through something like that. And I think being flexible and adaptive and having a good attitude about it helped me during that time.
Permit me one silly question as we wrap up. What the heck does Omaha mean?
You know, it seems like every time I go through an airport now or through a sport, I was at a golf tournament the other day, I just get a lot of Omahas. Sure. You know, you just turn back and wave, but it was just a worry. They turned those TV microphones up now so you can hear all that's being said. It usually meant after an audible, we changed the play, and it was just kind of a trigger indicator word that meant the ball needs to be snapped now, just a few seconds on the clock. Okay. So, but I have been to Omaha a couple times. I seem to be a big deal there. You know, I got the key to the city a couple years ago and got some steaks out of the deal. So I guess I picked a good word.
Worked out okay. If you'd like to learn more about the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in scenic downtown Natchitoches, log on to lasportshall.com.
It's only a matter of time until your check engine light comes on, or worse yet, your car needs repair. That could mean a big surprise auto repair bill. That's why it's so important you call CarShield today.
I was elated that I had CarShield. I was more than happy.
It's no fun when you have a car and it's broken and you can't pay for it to get it fixed.
So if your vehicle has 5,000 to 150,000 miles, just tell us the make and model of your car or truck and get an instant plan quote. In a matter of minutes, you can be covered.
My experience with CarShield is that they absolutely come through every time I need them.
If my car breaks down, I can count on CarShield to cover it for me. CarShield definitely has my back.
Now it's the time to make the smart choice and protect yourself from sky-high auto repair bills. Call now for a free and instant protection plan quote. It's only a matter of time until repairs are needed, and once your car breaks down, it's too late.
Call 1-800-437-9906. Get covered today.
Hello, I'm Lynn Rollins, coming to you from inside the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Museum, located in scenic downtown Natchitoches. Inside this fantastic facility, you'll find a nearly endless supply of sports memorabilia, from uniforms and game balls to medals, photos, and digital media. These help us tell the stories of our Louisiana legends. Meet T. Barry Porter, a 2019 Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame inductee and the first rodeo performer in the history of this Sports Hall of Fame to be so inducted. Congratulations. It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you. I never thought they'd do it.
Well, let's go back to 1949.
Yes.
You go to Madison Square Garden. as a small town guy from Louisiana, you beat everybody in the world there, but it was a lot different there than it is now in rodeo.
That's right.
And your event, of course, was calf roping.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about that whole experience.
Well, what would you like to know?
You spent a month's time
Month in New York. We got 11 calves. Roped 11 calves in a month. The calves weighed about 275, 300.
That's much bigger than today.
That's right. And I was getting along pretty good. I was placing a little bit along. To the last calf we roped, I looked up at the clock. In 30 seconds, I hadn't got him on the ground. I just had time under 60 seconds, which I was lucky. Because a lot of boys had went out of the roping on those old big calves and things, you see.
So you had a big lead. Those first 10 calves, you did very well to build that lead.
Yes, sir.
So you win that world championship. How did you celebrate?
Well, I just went to another rodeo.
Now, Gene Autry, the singing cowboy, actually presented you with your prize?
Well, the garden did. Gene Autry, they put it on the rodeo. Gene Autry and Everett Coburn put it on the rodeo. The garden gave it all cowboys that won a saddle. And you saw it down here. But it was quite an experience. Leave Leesville and drive to New York.
I'm told that you actually rode your horse down Broadway in New York City as part of the celebration.
No, we had to ride a horse in the parade, and so people could see it, you see. And but I rode right down Broadway, and it was a lot of things I've done. People won't get to do it no more. Really.
Indeed.
I've been a cowboy, besides the rodeo cowboy, and I've worked cows all my life.
Still do, don't you?
Huh?
You still
Yes,
do?
Sir. We got about 300 head of cows, and I still do that, and I cut hay still. And when they called me and told me and put me up here last fall, I was cutting hay when they found me.
And you're in your 90s.
92.
And you go to work every day, and
Yes,
it's just another day on your farm in Leesville.
That's right.
It is a pleasure to welcome you into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. It's been a long time coming. Congratulations on this magnificent honor and all you've accomplished in the world of rodeo.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. And like I say, I hope I leave more here when I'm gone and I take away.
If you'd like to learn more about the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in scenic downtown Natchitoches, log on to lasportshall.com.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-921-0563.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-921-0563.
Hello, I'm Lynn Rollins, coming to you from inside the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Museum, located in scenic downtown Natchitoches. Inside this fantastic facility, you'll find a nearly endless supply of sports memorabilia, from uniforms and game balls to medals, photos, and digital media. These help us tell the stories of our Louisiana legends.
Welcome to Louisiana Legends. I'm Carly McCourt, joined by Lynn Rollins, and he is an inductee for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. First of all, Lynn, how does it feel to be on this side of the interview?
Not as good as it feels to be the one asking the questions, I promise you. So this is a new thing for me, so to speak, but we worked enough together to have a comfort level from the start.
Absolutely, and that's kind of where I want to start. And I know, as you know, a young broadcaster in this industry, I get to look up to people like you. And you were in my shoes once, and obviously this industry has changed a lot over the years, and you've changed a lot with it, and you've grown, and you still continue to be so knowledgeable and so likable on the air. What has been the main key to keep your spark, to keep your brand?
Well, you know, I started in radio, and I think that's a great place to start. Actually, I started at Northwestern State University in print journalism. The very first assignment I had, and this is absolutely the truth, September of 1968, Paul Anka. Do you remember Paul Anka? You ever heard of Paul Anka? No, you haven't. Paul Anka was doing a concert in Prather Coliseum, and there was a tradition then, after the first concert of the year, there was a panty raid that was held on campus. So there I was, a young reporter for the Current Sauce at Northwestern State University. I know you're familiar with that newspaper.
I am.
So I'm embedded with a hormonally fed group of fraternity brothers in this panty raid, and I'm thinking, this is my very first journalistic assignment for the school newspaper. I mean, it was great. So, I mean, that's how it all started officially. But seriously, and that is true, seriously, I think a print background is very helpful to an electronic media background because it teaches you discipline, it teaches you how to approach deadlines, it teaches you proper use of the language, et cetera, et cetera. But radio was what really turned me on to the broadcast side. And I can remember, Carly, as an 8 or 10-year-old, listening to an old Zenith tube type radio that my parents had purchased for me every night, KMOX St. Louis.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
These are the Clear Channel stations, WCCO Minneapolis, WHO Des Moines, KDKA Pittsburgh, and on and on and on. And I'm thinking, this is magical. I'm hearing these magnificent sports broadcasters, you know, every night before I went to bed, and that's what planted the seed.
Well, obviously you are known for a lot of things in this industry, but one of the things that you're known for most are your tidbit liners that you say over the air.
Hotter than a Rolex in a pawn shop.
Wait a minute, did he just say that? We call them Rollinisms.
Hotter than a fire ant on a fever blister.
Lynn will get you into a game, and he'll make a reference. I got nothing.
This game is tighter than the top string of a Texas fiddle.
Are those pre-planned? Do you think of those before you head into a broadcast? Or are you really that clever?
Well, I don't know about clever, but yes and no. Most of them are spontaneous. Most of them are. Some of them are stolen, quite honestly. You know, from the greats of past years. Red Barber, for example. One of the things that I haven't used a lot, but I really like, and he's describing a tight, tense ball game, and he says, you know, we're here in the 9th inning, and it's 1-1, and this game is tighter than a new pair of shoes on a rainy night. You know, and you got to think about it a little bit, but you know, you've been there, right? New pair of leather shoes, they're starting to shrink on your feet.
Yeah.
And you know, that type of metaphor, I think can add so much to a broadcast, and it's speaking one-to-one to people. You know, it's as though we're speaking here, except you're going out to tens of thousands.
Absolutely, and one of the things I love about working with you so much is that you genuinely care. You care from the bottom of your heart about every athlete that's on the field. You care about every single coach that you're covering. You care about every person that is on the broadcast team, may it be the producer in the truck or the on-air talent. You care. And I know that comes a lot from who you are within. But how do you keep such a humble, and I know you jokingly say some things that are not humble, but how do you stay so true to yourself and just so heartfelt towards other people in such a trying industry?
Well, it is a trying industry, that's for sure, and all of us have huge egos in this industry, and anybody who says otherwise is being less than true. I try to treat people like I want to be treated, and it's that simple. Also, as you know, the tension level is always pretty high on a broadcast. There are 20, 25 people doing the best they can to make everybody else look good. And why add to the confusion? Why add to the stress? Why add to the angst? We can talk about things later. And I also truly like to work with young people who have talent and who have desire and are working hard to get better, and anything I can lend to them, they can take it or leave it, but I certainly would be there as a resource. I'm so humbled by your question, actually, but I do have the strength of character to get over that.
Lynn Rollins, everybody, and only Lynn Rollins. So this next question is something that, as a broadcaster myself, I've had these moments in my career where I've been like, my gosh, I cannot believe I'm doing this. This is real. I feel like I've achieved so much in this moment. And I know that you can relate to that feeling, that you've had many of those moments over the years. But is this moment, being inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, is that the real moment where you say to yourself, wow, I did it?
Well, nobody ever goes into it, I don't think, so that you can say, wow, I did it. But I understand exactly what you mean, and after 4.5 decades almost in this business in radio and television, it is very meaningful, and I would be less than truthful if I said otherwise. And Carly, the fact that it's a rigorous process in voting by peers, and I've been in some of those meetings, and many of them, and there aren't any slam dunks, other than the Peyton Mannings of the world and athletes like that. But it's a very rigorous process, and this was the first time I was put on the ballot, and that was by my choice. And to be elected the first time eligible is very meaningful to me, especially coming from peers on the print side and on the radio television side.
Congratulations, and thank you so much for your time today. And welcome to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much. I look forward to many opportunities where you're on this side and I'm on that side with you.
Hopefully that is the case.
If you'd like to learn more about the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in scenic downtown Natchitoches, log on to lasportshall.com.
Congratulations! Bob Eubanks, what are you guys doing here?
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks on behalf of the Tax Defense Group, and Albert had a big problem with the Internal Revenue Service.
Back in 2010, I had a bad separation from my business partner, and I basically left my business with a lot of debt in regards to taxes. It was a trying time, and I just needed someone on my side. Where they weren't willing to understand from my voice, they were willing to understand from
the Tax Defense Group.
Absolutely.
Hey, if you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and you've got unfiled tax returns, then you better call my friends at the Tax Defense Group. I mean, who knows? We might come to your house.
That's right, Bob. Call the Tax Defense Group to see if you qualify for tax relief.
Call 800-218-8348. That's 800-218-8348.
Hello, I'm Lynn Rollins, coming to you from inside the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Museum, located in scenic downtown Natchitoches. Inside this fantastic facility, you'll find a nearly endless supply of sports memorabilia, from uniforms and game balls to medals, photos, and digital media. These help us tell the stories of our Louisiana legends.
We got a lot of nicknames in the Hall of Fame. We got a Skeets and a Slick. The Rustin Rifle was here earlier. We got Pistol Pete, Chief, A-Train, Skippy, Big Hands, Big Fuzzy, Boozy, Greek, Slats. And tonight, we're going to induct another one. Let's learn about the legend of Freeway Dave Nitz.
Meet 2019 Louisiana Sports Hall of Famer Dave Nitz, the iconic radio voice of the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs in Ruston, Louisiana. Dave, first, congratulations on this much-deserved award. It's fabulous to see you in that chair.
Well, appreciate it very much, Lynn. It's quite an honor for me and my family.
It's an honor for all of us who have loved your work for 4.5 decades, 44 years at one school, the longest current streak of anybody in the country at one school being the radio voice of their sports programs.
I guess it means that, you know, they can't find anybody to work as cheap as I can or as long as I have. But, you know, being in broadcasting like yourself, you know, it's, you enjoy doing what you're doing. It's not like going to work every day. It's, every game is different. And I think that's one of the things that's kept me young, so to speak.
Dave, I want to go back to 1961. Oh. And you're in West Virginia.
Correct.
That was your genesis for getting into radio. Now, it didn't come easily at first, as nobody's career does. But let's go all the way back to 1961 and how you first started in radio.
Well, it started with a news station on the air in Spencer, West Virginia. And the gentleman who had a farm next to my grandfather was putting the station on the air. He owned a Coca-Cola bottling company there in Spencer. So I kept knocking on his door. My grandfather had introduced me to him.
How old were you at this time?
I was probably 19 or 20 years old, I think it was, something like that. And I kept knocking on his door every time I go see my grandfather. I said, okay, you know, I understand you're putting a station on the air, and I'd like to be a part of it. He said, well, we'll talk about it sometime. And I kept going. You know, I think out of just getting me out of his hair, he said, okay, we'll give you a job. So it started out working as a night disc jockey. Matter of fact, it was where Big Dave's Night Beat started.
Hey! Big Dave's Night Beat.
Yep. And, you know, it was kind of an all-request show. It was a small station, small town. And I took requests and things like that. And about, it was, like I say, it was a brand new station in 1961. Tom T. Hall was our program director.
The musician?
The musician, the songwriter and singer. Mm-hmm. But he was not well known at that time. He was in radio, just like the rest of us. And we had a staff meeting, and he said, you know, we need to get involved with the community. We need to be able to do some high school football, because this was early September. And he said, any of you guys had any experience doing football or play-by-play of anything? And he looked around the room, and nobody was volunteering. And I kind of meekly raised my hand, you know, at 19 years old, and I said, you know, I've played all sports in high school, and I've played college basketball. It's something I'd eventually like to do. Well, Tom T. said, are you sure no one else wants to do this? And they said, no, let the kid do it. Mm-hmm. So that Friday night, I had to set up my own equipment, read my own commercials live.
Which the equipment in those days was a bit more primitive than it is today.
It was a lot more primitive, it was. You couldn't talk back to the station. Matter of fact, when I hooked my equipment up, I went to a pay phone about 2 blocks away, because they didn't have a phone in the press box, mm-hmm. and called the station. And I said, can you hear some crowd noise? They said, yeah, I can hear it. I said, okay. I had a stopwatch. I said, let's put our stopwatches together so we'll know when the opening billboard starts, and I'll know when to take the air. And you know, to this day, Lynn, I use a stopwatch on every commercial break, even though I can hear them. It's just a safety reminder.
That's a great idea from the past that still is relevant today.
Right. And I have young broadcasters say, what are you using that stopwatch for? You can hear the commercial. I said, what if you can't hear them? Mm-hmm. And they said, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So that's why I still do it. But anyway, I had to go to a phone and call and ask them if they could hear. We counted down, and we went on the air. And like I say, I had to read the commercials live. I had no one helping me with the color. It was all me. And so that's how I got started. And I guess that was, gosh, this fall will be 58 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so I guess I did an okay job. I've continued to fool people that long.
Well, I think you're being quite modest, actually. Now, we can go all over the place with this interview, but you've had so many highlights in your career. In Louisiana Tech, of course, and Lincoln Parish, where Ruston is, has had a phenomenal number of people in this Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, you being the latest, along with Matt Dunnigan in the 2019 class. You've had the opportunity to literally call Hall of Famers, many of them in their careers at Louisiana Tech.
Well, you know, that's interesting, because I guess it was 9-10 years ago when I was elected into the Louisiana Tech Athletic Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Every one of the 8 people, I think, at that time that went in the Hall of Fame, I broadcast for when they were 19 and 20 years old. And that was a big thrill for me, just like Matt Dunnigan. Matt went in the Hall of Fame the same day I did in the Louisiana Tech Athletic Hall of Fame, and now going together in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. I told him, I said, you still got a couple up on me because you're also in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. And I said, I don't think I'm going to make that one.
Dave, I know your favorite sport over the course of your illustrious career has been baseball, and you've done so much minor league baseball in addition to the 9 or 10 months on the job at Louisiana Tech every year. Tell me about your passion for baseball.
I guess my passion for baseball probably started when I was 3 or 4 years old, really, Lynn, because my dad back then in the Huntington area, the steel mills and the little towns had baseball teams, and he coached one of those.
These were the smallest of the minors, the Class D and C teams?
Oh, it would have been at that time, but they were actually industrial league teams.
Okay.
And so I was a bat boy at 3 or 4 years old. And so I can remember I was told this one night. Of course, my dad played and coached at the same time. And they said, Nitch, it's your turn to bat. Well, little old Dave drug a bat up to the home plate, and I was ready to hit. And my dad had to carry me off of home plate. But that's, I guess, my love for baseball started back then, and my dad coached baseball, and I've always loved the game because there's so many things about baseball that people don't understand. There's so many games within the game of baseball that people don't really know about.
This is a question I'm going to pose to you that I have heard all of my, well, several years running, that your nickname is Freeway Dave, but I don't know why. I've never been told the connection, so tell me right now, how did Freeway Dave come about?
Well, I was doing broadcasting the Lady Texters games along with the Bulldogs at that time, back in the late 70s, and the Lady Texters were playing at Poly Pavilion in UCLA. So Leon Barmore was the coach, and so Leon said after the practice, he said, let's play a one-on-one game. And so we did, and I beat him. He, to this day, he can't live it down. He said, we need to play a best 2 out of 3. I said, okay. So he beat me the second game. I beat him the third game. So we quit after that. But anyway, I had an unlimited rent-a-car with unlimited mileage. So I'd never been to LA before. And I said, well, I'm going to drive around and see all the places I'd want to see. Dodger Stadium, the Angels Stadium, the Coliseum, UCLA, Southern Cal, all these places I wanted to see. So he ended up writing a poem, The Ballad of Freeway Dave.
This was by yourself, though. You just took off, and I'm going to go watch
I took off by myself. And so he wrote a poem, The Ballad of Freeway Dave, which is still in the files of the Sports Information Department of Louisiana Tech. I told him we need to send that to somebody that could write the music to that, and Tom T. Hall told him it'd be a great one to have that because he writes songs and does songs just like that. But that's how Freeway Dave, and you know, Teddy Allen, who is the MC for the Sports Hall of Fame, does the color with us on the Tech football. He never calls me by Dave when he asks me a question. Freeway. That's all he calls me, Freeway.
Dave Nitz, a long time at Louisiana Tech and at the top of his game for many, many, many years. A 2019 Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you.
If you'd like to learn more about the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in scenic downtown Natchitoches, log on to lasportshall.com.
It's only a matter of time until your check engine light comes on, or worse yet, your car needs repair. That could mean a big surprise auto repair bill. That's why it's so important you call CarShield today.
I was elated that I had CarShield. I was more than happy.
It's no fun when you have a car and it's broken and you can't pay for it to get it fixed.
So if your vehicle has 5,000 to 150,000 miles, just tell us the make and model of your car or truck and get an instant plan quote. In a matter of minutes, you can be covered.
My experience with CarShield is that they absolutely come through every time I need them.
If my car breaks down, I can count on CarShield to cover it for me. CarShield definitely has my back.
Now it's the time to make the smart choice and protect yourself from sky-high auto repair bills. Call now for a free and instant protection plan quote. It's only a matter of time until repairs are needed, and once your car breaks down, it's too late.
Call 1-800-437-9906. Get covered today.
This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K, Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Demco, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, Relief Windows, Visit Baton Rouge, an authentic Louisiana experience, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to another October edition of Paradise, Louisiana, coming to you from Superior Bait and Tackle on Segan Lane. And for the second time in 3 weeks, we got Dean the Dream Lecoq. Dean, when's your next birthday?
On October 22nd.
When?
October 22nd.
Boy, October, that's this month. And you're going to be, what, 5? Yeah, okay. How many fish you caught this year already? You know?
5,000 at Foster.
I saw you on TV. You know, you've been a star of the show.
Guess how much I ate?
How much you ate?
And I caught 5,000.
5? Well, look, I saw you on, what's the name of that other show? Called Bayou Wild? That's what your daddy producer, Mr. Don. I see you on there all the time. You making any money there? No. I don't want to pick on you, but look, you see what colors we got. This is October. It's cancer, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm going to say it again. One of my favorite tournaments. Just so happens it's going to be on Election Day. The rodeos, the ladies. The Grand Isle Ladies Rodeo at Bedside Marina. Coming up this Friday and Saturday. There's a lot of other tournaments. Louisiana Kayak's got one, and there's other tournaments going on. We'll give it to that on our event calendar. So many tournaments. But one of the things we've been doing ever since we've been on Paradise, Louisiana, we cover Hunting Fishing Day. Hunting Fishing Day all over the state. The 2 big ones with Woodworth and right here in Baton Rouge at Waddell. I attended the Waddell. Since my partners, and by the way, the original founder of Paradise, Louisiana was at Hunting Fishing Day volunteering to identify fish. Mr. Joe Macalusa, what a great guy, what a legend. So we talked to him and we spent a little while. We got that. I don't know how much time we got with fishing, but we got a long fishing report and a big event calendar. They had the state qualifying, the high school qualifying for the 2020 state championships going to be at Toledo Bend. So stay tuned, and we're going to bring you all we can, the information and the news, and one more statement on the governor's race, and there's my buddy. You got anything you want to say? Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah? Tell me you're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
The fish were at some fishing baits, too.
They shooting next door. We'll be right back.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. Uh-huh. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny?
Who the heck is Benny?
Well, them volunteers taken care of here. You volunteer for the wild animal. They take care of you, but.
Hey everybody, welcome to National Hunting and Fishing Day at Baton Rouge location. This is the 34th event. We're excited to have everybody out here. We've got a lot of fun in the outdoors. There's canoes, there's some fishing, there's skeet shooting, there's archery. What am I missing, Carla?
We've also got out here today with us the Baton Rouge Audubon Society. We have the Louisiana Master Naturalists under the pavilion over here, and they're doing some different demonstrations and playing games with kids, as well as the falconer.
Oh, we don't want to forget there are free hot dogs and drinks, and we got some fried alligator, which is going to be really good. So, yeah, we're just happy everybody's come out here. It looks like a good crowd. Everybody's having a good time pulling fish out of the pond. It's a great day. It's a great day to be outside.
Wildlife and Fisheries has come in here and made the Quad Hill Wildlife Education Center, you know, a real popular place to bring kids, and I'm talking about all kids, any kids groups, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Boys and Girls Clubs come out here all the time. But they stocked about 200 pounds of adult catfish for this weekend, and it looks like they're going to do okay. The kids are having a great time. You know, I got the saltwater fish part of it this time, but I remember years ago when Gary and I were standing out there doing our first show. So it's been about that long, I don't know, 18 years or so, and Paradise, Louisiana was born right here at Quad Hill.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana. 1, 2, 3.
Watching Peaches and
One more time. Paradise, Louisiana.
Paradise, Louisiana.
Fishing. It's where good stories come from. It's about good times and family and friends. It's about taking a couple home for dinner tonight and saving a few for tomorrow. It's all about that and so much more. To CCA, fishing is about enjoying today and making sure tomorrow is even better. To us, fishing comes with a responsibility for the resources we enjoy so much. If fishing means all that to you, then you belong with CCA.
New Berkley Fireline Ultra 8. It's rounder, smoother, and 4 times more abrasion resistant than original Fireline. Expect 10% longer cast and superb knot strength.
You thought Fireline couldn't get any better.
There's no better way to cool down this summer than with a delicious thirst-quenching Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. The Polar Pop Cup is the coolest way to beat the heat. Fill your Polar Pop Cup up with the flavors you crave in crushed or cubed ice. Nothing stays cold longer, so you can stay refreshed all day long. Stop in Circle K today for an ice-cold Polar Pop Cup. Polar Pop Cup, only at Circle K. Take it easy.
Welcome back to Spear Bait and Tackle of Paradise, Louisiana. Boy, do we have some events coming up. I mentioned this weekend that we got the Ladies Rodeo coming up, the Grand Isles Ladies Rodeo. But we got something coming up November the 2nd that's going to be close to my heart. Joe Macalusa years ago was talking about all the high school alumni rodeos that go on, the Catholic High, Jesuit, Don's old alma mater, Rommel. But we look at all these tournaments that are coming on, and our good friend, Jack Payne at Sweetwater Marina really came up with a great idea. He was going to have the inaugural Battle on the Bayou High School Alumni Rodeo coming up on November the 2nd out of Sweetwater Marina. Now, it's going to be a $50 a person entrance fee, but you have your team. They're going to give top prizes. They're going to give the top 8 prizes going to receive cash awards, all right? Plus, the first place team going to get a cash award for each individual, plus their school of choice will receive a cash award. Now, I want to remind y'all, you can go on his website or Facebook and you can find out more information. So that's going to be he calls it the first annual. Joe and Don told me a long time ago there's no such thing. It's the inaugural tournament. So let me tell you what, Sweetwater Marina, get ready, because in the fish report you're going to see there's a lot of fish being caught. Finally getting caught, trout too. They got the 2nd annual Sizzling for Seals Soiree for the Navy SEAL Foundation. That's going to be at the StablerFoundation.org. It's going to be at Live Oak at the Cedars Lodge. That's on the 2nd of November also. Now, in there, there's going to be the Stabler Foundation. They're going to have a steak cook-off prizes. They got a whole list of sponsors from top sponsors all the way down. So the guest speaker is going to be Karen Vaughn with the Gold Star Mothers. If you want more information, go to StablerFoundation.org. Knights of Columbus has got their tournament coming up Saturday, October 19th. At the Virat Marina in Lake Charles. We talked about that. That's October the 19th. Now, the DeSoto Tourism 3rd Annual Battle for the Paddle in Logansport. That's October the 12th. And I told you once again, the Lafayette Kayak Club has got their event. You go to their website and see it. Now, we had some tournaments that came through this last week, and man, I'm telling you what, it's unbelievable. The High School Bass National and the state qualifying was held up at Henderson Lake on October the 5th, and these weights were unbelievable. They had 170 teams fishing. And I want to remind you again, it's a qualifying tournament for the 2020 state tournament out of Toledo Bend. First place, Hanson Cheney and Luke Farace from Walker High School. 5 fish, 12.72. Second place, Terrellins Catholic High School. Dylan Gidry and Braden Melanson, 12.27. Third place, St. Thomas More High School. Drew Landry and John-Luc Lemoyne, 12.2. Central High School was fourth, Connor Russian and Ethan Simon, or Simon, however you want to say it, 11.8. And the West Baton Rouge team come out with Bo Landry and Cage Collins with 11.69. It's unbelievable how many limits they had during that tournament. So we're going to run a list. I don't know if you can see them all in there if we have time, but tremendous tournament. Thank you again to our former principal and coach, Mr. Dean. Now, here we go. We're going to look again. We got another tournament that we get twice a month or once a month. It's Lions Lunkers at East Pearl. They fished out of East Pearl, but they had 19 teams, but they were chomping at the bits to go to West Pearl. Then the water was finally dropping, and they wanted to get there. Well, most of these fish, that's where they came from. First was Trenton Pittman and Chase DeMar. Big bass was 5.19. They had 12 pounds, 5 ounces, 0.05 pounds. They had Timmy Dickens and Jay Breland was second, 11.20. Mark Moore was 10.46 fishing by itself. They had 15 limits weighed in. Their next tournament, October 26th at East Pearl. Let me see if I'm forgetting something. And that's events. You think you got any other events? Ladies Rodeo, that's it. God bless you. We'll be back with a little short hunt report and a fishing report, which is long.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
The best part about being a member of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative is that it's your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report. And we got a good one. I'm going to start off with the Shoreline Division right now. Sweetwater, hot as ever. I'm going to tell you what, they got fresh shrimp. Most of the fish caught on fresh shrimp, but don't give up on plastics. Matrix shad and a lot of other of your favorite baits are catching fish right now. I got a great report right now from Sweetwater. You know, Jack called me up the other day, telling me about this tournament. I said, Jack, where's the trout? He said, man, you will not believe it. They're finally turning on. They're moving in. The water's getting cooler. It's getting saltier. And I've been getting trout reports from Lake Robin, Four Horse Lake, Shell Lake, Dead Duck Pass. I don't even know what that is. I know where Lake Amadee. He said most of the fish have been caught on live shrimp and the matrix shad lemon head. That's been the top bait. They've been getting people coming in and catching fish. Also, not far from there, I got a good report from Maurice Hurst and his pals in Hopedale. Captain Calvin Duvall, he's been fishing Hopedale and Delacroix. He sent me some pictures, and I'm sorry, my computer was messing up. I never got them pictures. But Calvin had some beautiful fish. He's been catching every time he's going out. Captain Calvin Duvall, you can look him up on his website. And you can also find his number at Island Marina, too. They will give it to you. But Calvin been unbelievable the fish have been catching. Delacroix caught a few in Lake Bourne, but Hopedale and Delacroix right now has been his hottest spots. Another one, I get a report from Pontchartrain. My old friend James Snyder, he was over there fishing for bass. He did pretty good. He started fishing at Jumping Manor. He was catching trout in Pontchartrain itself. He said, but redfish are everywhere again, but not like they have been. He's been catching.
2, 1, and we're back.
Welcome back to St. James High School. Jeff Palermo along with Jason McQueer. As we resume action after about an hour lightning delay, Lutcher has the football in the St. James territory. Kate Adams down on the sidelines. Lightning strike right about 11 minutes to go before halftime with Lutcher driving. And so now it's coming up 3rd down and 3 just to kind of get you caught up with everything. St. James had 2 possessions that went into Lutcher red zone, but they only came away with 3 points. And now Lutcher looking to possibly take the lead here in this big rivalry matchup. The handoff given to Storks off the right side. That's enough for the first down. He needed to get to the 10. He got to the 8. It's going to be 1st and goal here for the Bulldogs.
Well, and I tell you what, if you're Lutcher, even though they were about to score before the rain delay, this is not a bad thing because a lot of the St. James crowd has kind of disseminated to their cars and elsewhere in the parking lot, and you don't have a full crowd cheering against you.
Yeah, certainly the atmosphere much different an hour later after that lightning strike. Patterson looking for some running room on the right side, and a host of Wildcats brings him down right at the 5-yard line. There is I thought there was a flag down, but those are just gold shoes out on the field, but maybe there is a flag down. Yeah, there is a flag down.
Yeah, you could see there from those pictures of the stand that this crowd is 3/4 empty, but you'll see how many of them come back. Here's Patterson on the keeper. And as Jeff was mentioning, Lutcher has survived a lot in this early contest, to only be down 3-0, and here's an opportunity to actually go up.
Half the distance to go, still 1st down.
Personal foul penalty was called against St. James, so 1st and goal here. Lutcher has a chance to take a lead. St. James, undefeated, #1 ranked team in Class 3A. Squandered a couple of opportunities early. Lutcher trying to cash in. Bad snap, ball on the ground, but the Bulldogs recover it. Nearly getting in there and getting a fumble recovery was Tyler Steve, but Storks got his hands on it, but it's a loss of 8.
Well, and if you were watching before the rain delay, you saw St. James do this about 6 or 7 times, and now right from around the same area where St. James was driving in the 1st quarter, and now Lutcher have a little trouble handling the wet ball there.
2nd and goal now from the 10-yard line. As you take a look at Storks at 453 yards rushing coming into the game. He's ran the ball hard here in the 1st half. Patterson steps up. He's got some room to run here. He's to the 5. Looks for that pylon. Did he get in? Touchdown, Bulldogs. Well, and Lutcher takes the lead.
And this is what Patterson can do for you. When the play breaks down, he's an extremely gifted runner. He's got speed. You're talking 4.5, maybe 4.4 speed. And watch him. He didn't have the edge, but watch him get to the edge and beat him around the corner. He tucks it. And you can see right there, the defender had the edge, and he's able to make the turn on him and get into the end zone. Big play by Patterson. Lutcher's up in the football game now.
4th touchdown run of the season for Patterson. Now Logan Bourgeois, a soccer player, one of the best soccer players that Lutcher has to offer, is handling extra points, and that kick was blocked. The holder had a hard time trying to get that ball down, Rhett Whitney. So our score is 6-3 with just over 8 minutes to go before halftime.
Well, in a game like this, your towel boy has to be like the MVP. You got to make sure that you're getting drive footballs out on the field, particularly on special teams plays when you got to go long snap or deep snap. You got to make sure you have a drive football so that that kind of stuff doesn't happen.
Brad Baptiste blocked that with his leg. You don't see that too often, Jason, but that's how bad the snap was, and it took that much time for Whitney to get the snap down. Game Time on Yearview thanks Louisiana Lift for their support of this telecast, specializing in customer service on equipment, rentals, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving customers since 1980. You can check them out online at lalift.com or call their Baton Rouge office, 753-5700, or contact the New Orleans area office, 504-463-3400. Louisiana Lift, they're always on call. Last time, Sean LaBeouf had a big return for St. James as Bourgeois high end-over-end kick. And it's going to be returned to about the 31-yard line. And, well, still on his feet is the return man, Quinn Morvan. And Morvan actually got it all the way up to the 35-yard line. So let's see if St. James works some things out here. Offensively, they had great field position twice, starting drives in the Lutcher territory, but failed to score both times. And right now, Dwayne Jenkins and the Lutcher Bulldogs feeling really good about where they're at as you look at the ITI Technical College scoring drive.
Yeah, one of the things I'm looking for is, can Shaz Preston get back on the field? During the rain delay, I saw them working on him. I still see him on the sideline and trying to get himself healthy and seeing if he can get back in the game. But that would be a big blow to this St. James offense if number 7, Shaz Preston, can't get back in.
Yeah, he went down in a heap next to the Lutcher sidelines before the lightning delay. Nice run here from Shamar Smith as he got it to the 42-yard line.
He said he's got a bruise, but he's going to come back in.
Second down and about 4 from the 42. Smith has been playing on the St. James varsity level since the 9th grade, a senior now. Southern Miss, La Tech, Colorado State, some of the schools taking a look at him. No one open. He'll just have to run it. He gets popped hard, and boy, did he go down quickly right next to the first down marker, and we might have a targeting penalty here possibly.
Yeah, I think Bowser hit him high.
Let's go down to Kate Adams here. She's got an update on Shaz Preston. Kate?
Thanks, Jeff. Actually just talked to Shaz himself, asked him what was wrong. Basically, on his right thigh, he has a bruise because earlier before the rain delay, someone had their left leg right into him, bruising that right thigh. What they did was just add a little bit of padding under his shorts just to make sure so it doesn't bruise anymore. Back to you guys.
15-yard penalty. Thanks a lot for the update, Kate. And that's going to move the football now into St. Lutcher territory, I should say. As there you take a look at the talented sophomore wide receiver trying to see if he can't get back into this game, but a somewhat encouraging report from Kate. 1st and 10 at the 39 for the Wildcats after the 15-yard penalty.
Jeff, when you can, go to spare. Go to spare.
They're going to run the ball with LaBeouf. LaBeouf got a nice block, and he made a nice cut, and he's got a first down. Ball comes out, and the Bulldogs have it on the big turnover, and Lutcher takes advantage of another opportunity. Coming away with the football was Trey Stewart. There was a big hit on LaBeouf, and it results in a huge turnover.
Well, LaBeouf did everything right on this play. What an awesome run. Just didn't hold on to the football at the end of it, but you could see the cuts there in the open field, brings the contact, but at the end of the day, got to hold on to that football. I know it's wet out there, but when you have that kind of run, you're driving your team. Most important thing is retain possession.
So now the Bulldogs take over at their own 22-yard line, and they'll throw it. But not much running room at all here for Chris Burkhalter, and the Wildcats shove him back. Bunch of St. James defenders there.
Well, St. James thus far in this game has really just shot themselves in the foot offensively. We saw this play earlier in the first quarter with Burkhalter where he had a big explosive run, knocking off tacklers and breaking tackles. This time, St. James reads it adequately and defends it well and is able to wrap Burkhalter up.
2nd down and 13. Patterson looking over the defense. 4 wide receivers in this set. 3 down linemen for St. James. Patterson zips one over the middle into double coverage, and it's behind the intended receiver. as they were trying to get the ball to Rashad Williams, who's got 15 catches, a 3-year starter for Lutcher. 3rd down and long coming up for the Bulldogs.
Well, this would have been a difficult throw. You'll see right here, very small window to get that into Williams, and it would have had to have been a perfect throw and just airmails it a bit. And if you're going to miss on a throw like that, that was a good miss, because if you had missed anywhere else, it could have been intercepted.
Lutcher needs to get to the 32-yard line on this 3rd down and long, as they're up 6-3 midway in the 2nd quarter after an hour lightning delay. Patterson winds up, has a man, and he beats the St. James defense, but it's incomplete. Dwayne Whitfield had a comeback for the ball, had a pause there. He had 2 steps on a couple of defenders, but the ball was underthrown, and that allowed St. James to recover defensively.
He sure did. He had Winfield right there, and this was bang, bang. I want to see this again to see if the defender got there just a little early, but that was brilliantly timed. And you just talk about bang, bang. A lot of times when the defender has his head turned, you will see here that Baptiste doesn't get his head around. A little contact there after the fact. Almost got a late hit there on Patterson, but they didn't call it.
Patterson, a punt, standing at his own 5-yard line. And they got him. They hit him that time, but no flag. And the ball takes a Lutcher bounce, and it'll be down at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, that's either a good home call there, or they're like, well, look, you're a quarterback. You're used to getting hit. We're not giving you that.
36-yard punt. That's at least running into the punter.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hit the punter and knock him to the ground.
Well, and you know I'm going to take up for my guys now.
I mean, this is not an acting job by Patterson. I mean, this is...
No, that's well after he hit it, too.
How does that not get called?
Well, where are you playing, Jeff?
All right. Anyway, St. James has the football at the 45-yard line. They got to get something going here offensively. They've been just not crisp offensively after scoring 35 points last week. LaBeouf to about the 48-yard line.
Well,
49.
This shows you the confidence that Valdez has in his key running back, Sean LaBeouf. His dad is actually the running backs coach, Elmo LaBeouf, who's a member of the St. James staff. They were out in the Ascension area and moved to the St. James area, and that's how he became a part of this team, both dad and son.
23 yards on 6 carries for LaBeouf. He's averaging 6 yards a carry on the season. Gets another attempt here.
That's a face mask.
And no call, and it's a 1st down, though, for the Wildcats, as LaBeouf, who worked on getting faster in the offseason, and it's paid off. He's really...
Let's see if there's a face mask on this. It looked like his head turned. That's normally how you determine if it's a face mask, and yeah, that's a... All right, we'll call it even. We missed the block punt. I mean, they run it into the punter, and now we missed a face mask.
St. James back in Lutcher territory. Patterson, not much room to run. Flag flies there. This might be a holding penalty, as Shamar Smith picked up 5 yards.
And I tell you what, this Lutcher defense is doing a very good job playing contain on Shamar Smith. They do not want him to get going as a runner.
That is a holding penalty.
But you can see they're spying on him. They're kind of in a contained rush. We've seen Zach Dewey make some good open field tackles on Shamar Smith, but you can see here, they're waiting for him. You see there's Dewey again. They are accounting for Shamar Smith as a runner, but that's LaBeouf there carrying that time.
1st down now and a long way to go. 1st down and 21, back into St. James territory at the 45-yard line. Smith, with only 3 men rushing, has all day to throw. Directing traffic. Finally gets a receiver who breaks a couple of tackles and a nice run after the catch. That was Caden Williams, a freshman. Gets it very close to the 1st down marker. There is a Lutcher defender down on the ground in front of the St. James sidelines. 19 yards, brings up 2nd and short when we resume play.
Well, you don't see a lot of pass rush here. Again, I think the idea is to contain Shamar Smith. That's why you don't see many running lanes, and he has time to throw the football. And that time he's able to just drop it down there to Williams. Williams does a good job breaking tackles there in the open field.
Brett Whitney finally wrestled him down to the ground, but right now the concern is with the Lutcher player who collided with another defender trying to tackle Williams. And he is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he's great. That doesn't look good. He is, you can tell.
Well, be sure to join us again next Friday as we bring you another exciting matchup here on Game Time. Game of the week, we go to New Orleans, De La Salle, the Cavaliers, as we have a interstate matchup. West Florida Jaguars will make the trip from Pensacola to the Big Easy to take on the Cavaliers. Join us at 7 o'clock here on YourView and YourView.com. Still on the ground is the injured Lutcher defender. I've not been able to get a jersey number on him. It looks like to be Ivan Clark, who has been really big defensively for Lutcher tonight. He's made some big hits. He's been making tackles all over the field. This is a big loss for the Bulldogs defense, which has been playing well here tonight.
See some of the Lutcher faithful over there.
Rain-soaked fans. We had a overcapacity crowd here before the lightning hit.
Take a break.
Let's take a break, and we'll come back from St. James High School, where the Wildcats are trailing the Lutcher Bulldogs 6-3 on Game Time.
Hey guys, I'm Aaron Kelly, physical therapist assistant for Peak Performance Physical Therapy, and I'm in our Denham Springs location. I want to talk to you about muscle cramps. We see a lot of muscle cramps here on Friday nights at sporting events, but you also deal with those around your home. A muscle cramp is a sudden involuntary contraction. Now we know that muscles contract and relax, so when you feel pain in a muscle from a cramp, it's due to that muscle being locked in a shortened position. A lot of times dehydration is a major cause for muscle cramps. So what we ask of you, a lot of people try the day of to replenish their body with fluids. If you start a couple of days earlier with some salty foods, other things, not just through the water you drink or the sports drinks, but also through the diet that you take in. So it's important to establish a healthy diet with fruits and vegetables and things like that. If you are suffering from these cramps, please feel free to reach out to us at Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Not a good look here for the senior Ivan Clark. The Lutcher Bulldog unable to put any weight on his legs. Coach Dwayne Jenkins said that he's been playing his best football of his Lutcher career here recently, and he's had a whale of a game up until this moment.
Yeah, I never like to see that, and he's made some really good plays, some key tackles in this game already. Let's hope that's nothing too serious.
Well, after the 19-yard pass play, St. James now looking at 2nd down and 2, trying to overcome a holding penalty as they have the football at the Lutcher 36, down by 3. Jeff Palermo, Jason DeQuire, glad he could join us on CST and YourView. Another ball on the ground. Running straight ahead is Smith, running over defenders, and he has the first down to the 29.
Well, credit Smith this time for at least keeping his concentration. Again, got to get that towel boy active, getting those balls dried off and in there for those shotgun snaps. But Smith picks this one up off the ground and is able to get forward and pick up a first down.
Not sure if it's necessarily the wet ball or if it's the wet turf, trying to snap the football off a wet turf where it's a little more slick. And let's face it, it hasn't been raining here much, so these guys haven't had a chance to really practice it. Smith has 7 carries for 43 yards. He'll look to throw now. He'll look to run. Makes one guy miss. And then is angled out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Another first down here for the Wildcats. And they are back into Lutcher, into the red zone. A 12-yard run for Smith.
And this is what Lutcher does not want to start happening. And Coach Jenkins was concerned about Shamar Smith being able to take over this game with his legs. We've now seen him pick up 2 first downs with his legs, and he can really beat you that way. So they've been good thus far up to this point in containing him, but can't let him get loose.
And the injury to Ivan Clark could already be having an impact here in this game. LaBeouf has got it, and LaBeouf has a chance for the end zone, and he gets there. Sean LaBeouf, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the first time the Wildcats have found the end zone tonight, a 17-yard run.
Well, Sean LaBeouf makes good for that fumble earlier, and I'll tell you what, he is a good-looking back. He's quick in the hole, and then when he sees it, he exploits it. You can see here on the run, just getting to the outside and good vision there. And I tell you what, when Shamar Smith starts getting loose as a running back, then you have to start worrying about number 2. You have to start worrying about number 3 in the backfield, and this offense really begins to open up.
Alec Muller with the extra point try that gets St. James up by 4. And it's through the uprights. So St. James leading Lutcher 10-6, 3:33 to go before halftime as Sean LaBeouf finds his way into the end zone.
Yeah, really good vision here. And I tell you what, once he gets in the open field, he knows what to do with it.
Carter Poche had a chance to make a play there at the line of scrimmage. The sophomore defensive lineman for the Bulldogs, but unable to really get a good grasp on LaBeouf, and he ran in, and Dwayne Jenkins' team is now trailing once again.
Yeah, and really good downfield blocking by the wide receiver on that play. You know, staying with the block, and most importantly, you often see the wide receivers do that and commit a holding call. So it was a good job of staying with the block and not getting your arms outside on the jersey.
We will have a 20-minute halftime, but we will not have the human jukebox performing at halftime anymore. Southern's marching band was here for tonight's ball game. As Sean LaBeouf, as you look at the ITI Technical College scoring drive, and when the lightning struck, Southern went out there, played a song, and then hopped in the bus, and they're getting ready for tomorrow night.
Yeah, they got a home game tomorrow, so you know they're thinking, hey, we still got a good little journey back, and it's already getting late. As you see, a good look there at Sean LaBeouf.
Good strong kick here by Mahler, and he boots it all the way through the end zone. The wind is whipping behind them as some cool air is starting to make its way into the river parishes. This was the band playing, the Southern Marching Band, during the rain.
Oh, you got to give it up. You got to give it up to them for doing that. This whole crowd was waiting to get to see that, and I tell you what, you got to give it up to them for sticking it out and giving the crowd what they wanted and an opportunity to see this band.
I don't think we'll hear that song in Tiger Stadium tomorrow, as Mekhi Patterson will run the football. So if you want to go hear it, go to A.W. Mumford Stadium. Pick up of 3 or 4 yards, and then after they played, the rain really started coming down here.
But Jeff, you may hear that song in Tiger Stadium in a couple of years because Southern and LSU will be playing each other, you know, so.
You're quite right. 2nd down and 7.
I don't know if they've decided on the year, but it will happen.
Storks right up the middle for a couple, and he was tackled by Jace Phillip, who's playing both ways right now for St. James. 3rd down.
Big down here.
Yeah, this is a big down.
3rd down, two little coming to the 2-minute sort of warning here, but you know, you don't want to give the ball back to St. James with good field position with 2 minutes left. You can see they're trying to work this clock down in case they don't get the first down. You still got about 15 seconds on the play clock. Want to use as much of that as you can. That way, if you don't get it, hopefully get off a good punt and pin them back.
Lutcher is 1 of 4 on 3rd down. St. James brings the blitz. Patterson goes deep to Winfield. Winfield adjusts on the football. Can't make the grab.
Wow.
Great coverage. Keyshawn Coleman was step for step with Winfield.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if his back was facing us. We'll get a chance to look at it here. It looked like Winfield had an opportunity to get up there and make a play on the ball. Looked like he'd gotten his hands around it, which he does, and oh, there it comes out. That's what we couldn't see. That's a great job by Coleman knocking that ball out of there. That's the way you do it. Get that hand in there, get that football out. That way the receiver doesn't have a chance to catch it. And here's where you got to be careful. So you've played pretty good defense. You're on the road 10-6, and you can't give up one here late in the second quarter.
Patterson's punt is not a good one. Short. And St. James is going to have another possession starting in Lutcher territory.
Yeah, this is...
St. James came into this contest with a 5-0 record. They are ranked number 1 in Class 3A ahead of Sterlington. And then it's Iota, University High, who we'll see in a couple weeks. They'll face Madison Prep. That's our game 2 weeks from tonight on the LSU campus. And you got LaRondre. Sterlington and Union Parish are playing each other tonight.
Big good one.
And Lake Charles Prep. Really good football team on the 3A level.
Oh, what a difference a year makes. You see U-High sitting there at 3-2 when last year nobody in the country could beat them.
From the 46-yard line after the 20-yard punt, Smith and his receiver dropped the ball. That was a forward pass. Wanted to get it to Caden Williams, but he couldn't hang on to it.
I think this is a critical possession of the game here for Lutcher. You know, played good defense, hung in there, survived some scares. And if you can keep St. James out of the end zone and get the ball back after the half, you will have done well here. But you don't want him give them another touchdown here late in the half and increase this lead.
Smith is 2 of 6 for 19 yards. Football is at the 46, second down and 10, just under 2 minutes before halftime. Lutcher bringing some pressure. Smith runs away and then runs out of bounds. Only picks up a yard. As chasing him out of bounds for the Bulldogs was Javen Williams.
Yeah, good job by Javen Williams, not giving up the edge. See him getting over there to get Shamar Smith. You got to keep some eyes on number 3 because if you give him a crease, he will burn you.
3rd and 10 now.
And this may be 2 down for St. James.
St. James is 1 of 4 on 3rd downs. More pressure, trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Threw it right to the defensive back, and he's off to the races. Brought down at the 22-yard line. Huge mistake. And Daquan Bowser, the 3rd interception of the season for Lutcher defensively, a 28-yard return.
I tell you what, this Bowser kid has been impressive. He's been all over the field tonight. We saw him almost make a safety earlier. We've seen him in on plays, and this time just a ball hawk. He knew the play. He knew it was a screen, trying to get it in there to LaBeouf, and just read it perfectly. And I tell you what, once he caught the ball, he looked like a running back on the return. Watch this. He just read it. He was waiting on that pass, and he just read it and looked like a running back making cuts and almost broke a tackle to get in the end zone.
Well, remember that name, Daquan Bowser. He's only a freshman, and he has been really impressive here in this football game. So Lutcher, they are in business with 1:41 before halftime. They'll throw. Oh, what a hit. Going way up there and trying to get it and getting upended was Chris Burkhalter. He's okay, but Mekhi Patterson let him out to dry.
Yeah, that's the ones where you go back to the huddle and you got to talk to your quarterback and say, hey, man.
Little low.
Yeah, keep that ball down. You know?
Oh, man. And it's a clean hit by the defensive back, Ja'Cory Esther, who's got 5 interceptions on the season. So now 2nd down and 10. Back to the ground and some running room for Storks. Storks runs over a defender, and he's inside the 5-yard line. Wow. I told you he runs like a bowling ball, and he knocked a pin down that time.
Yeah, and the pin was Tyler Smith, number 4. I tell you what, it just opened up on this counter, and I mean, it opened up like the sea out there, and Storks took advantage of it. Watch number 4 coming in here thinking he's going to make the tackle.
Flag down, whistle down.
Timeout. St. James. First charge timeout.
St. James wasn't ready. Let's take a look at the run by Storks again.
Watch this hit. The running back deliver the blow right there on Tyler Smith and just stiff-armed him down. And
Tyler Steve is the defender. 8 carries for 60 yards now for Storks. But, yeah, that was a get-off-me move there.
Yeah.
They want him to be consistent, and Storks has been really consistent tonight. This was my feeling about Lutcher coming into the game. They've had some tough losses. Lost by 7 to Amite in week 1. Lost by 2 to St. Charles Catholic. Had 13 penalties in that game. They led Sanamaw last week. They had a 15-14 lead. They made some mistakes. Sanamaw scores 3 touchdowns on 3 consecutive plays, and the Gators win 39-15. This is a young Lutcher team. I thought this St. James game came at the right time for them. Chance for them to really kind of reset their season and get it going in the right direction for the second half of the year.
Well, and when we were talking to Coach Jenkins, I think he knew he had a solid football team, because you can sometimes tell when Coach is like, we're just down this year. That's not what it was. It was, hey, we have to concentrate more. We have to quit beating ourselves, and we can play solid football.
Patterson will keep it, and he is into the end zone, I believe.
No, he's going to be short.
Just shy. Looked like he got in there. But
no, well, when his back turned to the goal line, he couldn't get the ball over. Otherwise, it would have. But watch here at the end. His back turns to the goal line, and the ball's facing the other way, right here. So the ball never gets in.
Very close, but the right call made. Patterson will try again. That time he's in. Touchdown, Bulldogs, as they have regained the lead late in the second quarter. Wow.
That's just a huge stance by Lutcher defensively. You know, it could have been going in 17-6 or at least 13-6 at the half. They make an interception, get down here, and actually put the ball in the end zone. You talk about a 13, 14-point swing.
Say again. Yeah, we're going to stay. Yeah, we can go down to Kate.
Logan Bourgeois on the extra point try. And it's through the uprights. And that makes it 13-10. Let's send it down to the field and Kate Adams.
Thanks, Jeff. Just a quick injury report brought to you by Peak Performance. Ivan Clark, senior linebacker for the Bulldogs. I went over to the sideline to see what was wrong. He has got excruciating pain all in his right leg, can barely even apply any pressure at all. Even a little touch is hurting him. He did have ice on his knee, but he is out for the rest of the game, and they don't have any more details as of right now. Back to you.
Big ice pack underneath the knee.
Yeah, and you can see it looks like some swelling there already. But anytime you got all the pads and jersey off, that's not a good sign. And obviously he won't be available the rest of the night. That's a big blow to the Lutcher defense.
Let's take a look at the touchdown again from Patterson as he gets into the end zone.
Yeah, it's close again in that scrum, and just toughness from Patterson. Not the biggest guy, but strong, and using that low center gravity, get that football over the goal line.
2 turnovers for St. James has resulted in 7 points. That was one of our keys in this game. For Lutcher, the 2 keys for Lutcher: don't allow the mistakes to compound each other and get some turnovers, and they've done exactly that, and they're playing some spirited football on St. James's field. Caden Williams' return is to the 30-yard line. Let's see how St. James may play this with Robert Valdez. You got 43 seconds left. He's turned it over twice in this half. I think you're playing it really safe here with the football at your own 30-yard line.
Yeah, I think they may, a lot of times you'll see, hey, let's see if we can bust that first one on like a draw or a quick screen, although we just saw an interception off a screen. Let's see if we can get some positive yards. And then if we can get this thing around the 45 midfield, we'll open it up and take some shots.
Robert Valdez, a former Southern University offensive lineman. The pass by Smith and the catch and run.
Yeah, you can see
by Williams to the 41. They call timeout, or the clock stops for the chains moving. 12-yard pass play.
And remember, they got a good kicker in Mahler, so they got to get down to at least about the 30-yard line here.
Another catch. This is LaBeouf, a very versatile player out of the backfield. Gets banged out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Trey Stewart on the tackle. Chains move again. Clock stops with 22 seconds left.
Well, LaBeouf is a tough little back. He does not go down on first contact. We've seen him break tackles all night. Was able to spin out of that and get valuable yardage. And now he's got plenty of time here, 22 seconds, to at least get yourself a chance at a field goal.
Another 12-yard pass play. Oh, in and out of the hands of the receiver.
I tell you what, that one had some pepper on it. That was a missile. You watch this. As soon as Williams is able to turn around, that ball is on him.
I see Caden Williams has ditched the gloves, and it still didn't matter. That play only took 3 seconds off the clock, so St. James still has a couple more plays to work with as they have the football in Lutcher territory. Whistle, flag, and it'll back St. James up 5 yards. Really discombobulated first half here
before
for
the snaps. False start, number 61, Black. Sorry, penalty, still first down.
Yeah, a little infighting here with this St. James team as well. See the
St. James has pretty much handled all their opponents this season. Their one close game was to Destran. They beat the Wildcats 2 weeks ago, 31-24. They won that game, Jason, despite getting outgained 435 to 254. That's quite an accomplishment. Bunch formation with 17 seconds left to go before halftime. Smith under pressure. Smith is going to go down. Well, at least get pushed out of bounds. A big loss. Great pressure applied. That is the senior defensive lineman, Jamel Thomas, who has gotten better year in and year out and can really be dominant at times. A loss of 8.
Well, now, I mean, really, you may only have one play. Let's see if they elect to try to do some sort of Hail Mary here, or will they play it safe? Really, you got to understand the situation. Not there, get rid of it. When you start running around, and right here, watch, now you're killing valuable seconds off of the clock. And really, I think they're just going to take it in here, play it safe.
And how about this? The Lutcher Bulldogs, if there was a spread in this game, they would have been prohibitive underdogs. But they have come onto St. James's field. They dodged a couple of early bullets when St. James had a chance to score a couple touchdowns, held the Wildcats to just 3 points, and it is Lutcher who goes into the locker room with a 3-point lead. We will hear momentarily from Dwayne Jenkins, the head coach from Lutcher. Kate Adams standing by.
Coach Jenkins, big play by your quarterback with only 1 minute left to go in the half. Just talk about his performance so far tonight, also at punter, and then the rest of your offense.
Well, I just think really our offense is put together some opportunistic drives, but I think defensively we showed up and ready to play. I think the play by Chris Burkholz to get the interception set up that drive, and I'm just proud of the way our kids are competing, and we just got to keep putting it up for 24 more minutes.
Well, you're exactly right. Your defense has definitely showed up tonight in the way that you definitely needed. Talk about their performance as well.
I just think that we're playing as a unit. One of the things that we talked about this week, we were hit with a lot of adversity over the first 5 games of our season. Don't let those things define you. Start the season over and just come out and play as hard as you can, and we'll finish up the season the best we can, and we just keep fighting to play another play.
Well, this is definitely the time to do it in the district opener, but a lightning delay earlier probably gave you a chance to talk to your team, and now you got another chance. What's your message right now?
Really, we just need to keep our composure and just keep playing every play. We've been in big ball games all year long. We've been in tight games. We've been up at the half. We've been down at the half, and we just got to keep playing and just avoid the avalanche. The thing that St. James has been so good this year is creating turnovers and creating momentum, and we just got to keep the momentum on our side.
Well, thanks so much, Coach, and good luck.
Thank you.
Guys.
20.
Certainly the momentum in Lutcher's favor here in this parish rivalry game. It's been intense. Some big hits in this contest and a lot of emotion as well. 13-10 is our score. Halftime from St. James High School when we come back on Game Time.
Are you over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days? I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. Call now for this free book on maximizing your income in retirement. Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers from leading financial firm J.D. Milberg. That's right, free. This book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we're about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known truths we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. And it's free.
Call 800-710-5619.
As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched numerous products and summarized rates and benefits of annuities, all from Sentinel Security Life Insurance Company.
Call 800-710-5619. That's 800-710-5619.
Call now.
Every summer, you talk about getting a pool, but by the fall, you're happy you didn't. Who wants the headaches? But what if you had a pool you could use 365 days a year? A ThermoSpa swim spa lets you swim, exercise, and entertain without the pool expenses of permits, construction, or fencing. It's the perfect fun and fitness solution for the entire family. Change your life with a ThermoSpas. Get your free information package today.
This is important news for members.
Attention. If you've had a hernia surgery after 2006 and suffered from serious side effects such as infection, chronic pain, organ damage, mesh shrinkage, or mesh migration, you could be eligible for financial compensation. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte right now at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now. Ethicon, a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, has withdrawn its PhysioMesh flexible composite mesh from the market. Again, if you've had complications from your hernia surgery after 2006, you could be eligible for financial compensation. We can find out what type of devices were used in your surgery. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now. You deserve justice, and the call is free. And there is no fee unless we win your case. Call now for your free case evaluation. Again, call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now.
What I love the most about my job is I get to sit down with first-time homeowners or new parents, newlyweds, and sit down and just prepare for the future. You know, life throws crazy uncertainties at us, and I get to be the person to sit down and prepare with people, and that means a lot to me. You know, it's important to have an insurance agent, an agency that you feel comfortable with and that you can trust, because you don't use insurance on your good days. You use your insurance on your bad days when a tree falls on your house or your teenager gets in a fender bender. That's when you use your insurance. So having somebody that you trust and having somebody that's there for you in your time of need, in your darkest hour, that's what we are as Farm Bureau, and that's what real service, real people means to me.
And we're back, Jeff.
Halftime from St. James High School. The Lutcher Bulldogs leading the Wildcats 13-10. Time to find out who our Teacher and Scholar of the Week are from Lutcher High School, and for that we send it down to the field and Kate Adams.
Okay, well, I don't have the actual Teacher of the Week or the Scholar of the Week. I've got people accepting on behalf of them here with me right now. I've got Danielle Mathern accepting for Craig Zuring of Lutcher Bulldogs for the Teacher of the Week, and then over here, this is actually Colton Pochet's family that's going to be accepting for the Scholar of the Week on his behalf. He's actually the center for the Lutcher Bulldogs. I'm going to start with you, Danielle. You told me that Craig was your teacher previously, so how much does it mean to you to be able to accept this award?
It means a whole lot to me that he taught me. One of the reasons I became a math teacher at Lutcher High School, and now I'm one of his co-workers, so it truly means a lot to me.
Well, I'm sure it's really special being able to have that relationship and now get to work together. What are you most impressed with from Craig?
The many, many years of service that he dedicated to Lutcher High School, not only to the math department, but also to the Lutcher High School football team.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations, Craig, our Teacher of the Week for Lutcher High School. Going to move on over to Colton Pochet's family. All right, I've got the mom, the dad, and the younger sister. Obviously, you guys have got to be very, very proud of your son and your brother. Just talk about his student-athlete accomplishments and emphasis on the word student.
Colton is the epitome of the perfect student-athlete. He tells us student comes first, and he truly, truly believes that. He worked so hard, and his belief system is so strong. I'm so proud of him.
Well, academics are definitely so important. Has Colton decided on any colleges, and if so, what, and also maybe a major?
He's still thinking about it very hard. He's keeping his options open. He's learning all the routines.
He hasn't decided quite yet.
Well, it does take some time to make that decision, so I don't blame him at all. Anything you want to say about your brother?
I'm very proud of him.
Awesome. I'm sure all of you guys are definitely proud of both our Teacher of the Week and our Scholar of the Week. So congratulations, and thank you guys for accepting on their behalf. And thank you to Crown Trophies for providing these wonderful plaques. Back to you guys.
Let's take a break. 10.
We'll take a break. Lutcher leading St. James 13-10. The Yearview, Louisiana Game of the Week. More from St. James High School after this.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, and better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network, where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character, and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak, and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
2-1, and we're back.
13-10, our score. Lutcher leading St. James. Time now to find out about our Scholar and Teacher of the Week from St. James High School. For that, we go back down to the field and Kate Adams.
Well, I've got Wildcats Teacher of the Week, Cindy Shepard, and then I've got a representative for our Scholar of the Week, Charlotte Martinez. This is First Sergeant, also Brooks, her junior ROTC instructor. She actually had to leave a little bit early due to the lightning delay, which is definitely understandable. Going to talk first with you, Cindy. Tell me about what you teach and what's your favorite thing you get to do with your students.
I teach IBCA and BCA, and I love to play games with them to motivate them through earning cat cash and through setting realistic goals. They love to earn the cat cash. They can get prizes, candy, chips on Fridays, so they love to get that.
Well, thank you so much, Cindy. Definitely keeping your students engaged in those realistic situations is so important. So congratulations on your Teacher of the Week.
Also, I would like to say that in 1996, I also received the Cox Communications River Region Chamber Award for Excellence in Education. So I just want to say thank y'all again.
Well, congratulations on both of those things. You are definitely well-deserved for those awards. I'm going to move over to you, the junior ROTC instructor for Charlotte Martinez. Talk about just how she is in the classroom and what are you most impressed with?
One of the most things I'm impressed with Charlotte Martinez is that she's our cadet battalion commander. She's the highest-ranking student that's in our JROTC battalion. She has a 32 on the ACT. She's a model student. She leads, motivate, and guide our students as well as a teacher. So she's a pleasure to teach. If we had more students like her, right, I think all the schools throughout the parish, throughout the United States would be great. But she's an outstanding student, and I love working with her. Me and my colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Kolar, she's a blessing to us, and that's what we like to think and like to say.
Well, it is so special for you to be here to accept that for Charlotte. Congratulations to Charlotte, our Scholar Athlete of the Week, as well as Miss Cindy Shepard, the Teacher of the Week, and thank you to Crown Trophies for both of these plaques. Back to you.
Break in 10.
Thanks, Kate. Congratulations again to our Scholars and Teachers of the Week. We'll take a break, look at first half highlights, and get you ready for second half action.
The bladder control aisle. You won't shop here again. Your private business is your own. The constant struggle is over. Now there's a better way. It's HDIS. We home deliver bladder control products. We understand how you feel. For over 25 years, we've home delivered to many of the 20 million Americans who deal with incontinence. We offer all brands. We pay shipping and use plain, unmarked boxes. If we can help you or someone you care for, call for your free product sample pack and $45 in money-saving coupons. Our counselors will help you choose the right product. And unlike stores, we're always in stock. You'll get what you need. Satisfaction guaranteed. HDIS, the better way.
For your free sample pack with your free catalog, $45 in money-saving coupons, and free product samples, call 1-800-467-7608. That's 1-800-467-7608.
An important message from Jacoby.
Did you have a favorite player growing up?
I used to watch Frank Gore a lot. I watched Clinton Portis, just running backs, Priest Holmes.
Yeah.
Just watching those guys, and Marshall Faulk. I had to dig back and watch some of that, Walter Payton and things like that, just trying to take pieces of their game and put it into mine.
Well, who do you think your game most emulates?
When somebody asks me that question, I always ask it back. So what do you think?
I can see Marshall Faulk from New Orleans.
Yeah,
so
I already know.
I'm kind of biased, but he was a good one.
Yeah.
Men, want to feel younger, stronger, leaner? You don't have to slow down after 40. New Nugenix Total T is our most powerful man-boosting formula ever because it boosts your free testosterone and your total testosterone. Nugenix Total T helps provide even more energy, performance, testosterone, and muscle-boosting ingredients for even better results. Text TIGHT to 321321 now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. That's TIGHT to 321321.
And we're back.
Let's take a look at our first half highlights with Lutcher leading St. James 13-10. St. James gets on the board early. Field goal there by Alec Fowler, but Lutcher coming right back. Been a nice first half from Mekhi Patterson. Gets into the end zone there. The extra point try, no good as it was blocked. St. James getting back on the scoreboard. A touchdown run from the Navy commit, Sean LaBeouf. Big interception right before halftime. Picked off by Daquan Bowser, and that would set up the score here. Another TD run for Patterson, who now has 5 touchdown rushing on the year. Not a lot of offense in this football game. 2 turnovers, one of them costing St. James 7 points. But Bulldogs hanging in there despite being outgained 117-83.
Yeah, the real key for Lutcher in this game has been their defense. Their defense has been spectacular. St. James has had a couple trips inside the red zone, and Lutcher able to stop them or only give up 3 points, and that's why we have a close football game here.
And if you're wondering why we're at halftime, we had about an hour weather delay, but everything is clear now, and it's time for St. James to get going offensively. They are down in this football game 13-10. We'll take a break. Second half kickoff coming up right after this on Game Time.
This throbbing neck pain was so bad it moved to my shoulders and was causing severe headaches. Then a friend suggested I choose Peak. 2 weeks later, the pain was completely gone. So glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, And we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
We're here at Podna's Barbecue, Louisiana's best barbecue. I've got the owner, Gerald Hopper, and you've got mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone ribs.
Well, they're slow cooked, I can tell you that.
Perfect for game day. It's our tailgate spread. Half slab of ribs, 2 halves of chicken, and 2 pints of sides with Texas toast and barbecue sauce, all for $24.85. With fast service, dine in or take out, and 2 great locations, Florida Donmore and Sherwood Forest at I-12.
Do you need to say great job, congratulations, or way to go? Crown Trophy on Sherwood Forest Boulevard in Baton Rouge has the trophy, plaque, acrylic, or crystal award you're looking for. Whether it's for your team, business, or church, come to Crown Trophy. We guarantee the highest level of customer service, and there's no charge for rush orders or trophy engraving. We're nationally known and locally owned. Visit us online to view our catalog at www.crowntrophy.com.
My shoulder pain got so bad I couldn't lift anything overhead. So I chose Peak Performance, and I can't believe how much better I am now. Peak really does get you back into the game of life. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people.
We're back.
Some of the nicest people in the world in St. James Parish. Want to thank this man here, Marion Piku, who, because of all the traffic coming into the park, into the stadium, a lot of our crew was not able to get their food in time. So Marion stepped up with some great jambalaya. I'm sorry you didn't get any, Jason.
Man, that looks good. Now, that's what you call like pastalaya. You got jambalaya and you got pastalaya. That's the pastalaya. But I tell you what, down here in Vassar, they know how to cook. That first pot looked like a good deal of red beans going on, and then you kind of mix that with the pastalaya. You got some good stuff, man.
We're set to begin the second half. We're anticipating some good stuff here. A lot of the crowd has thinned out because of the weather delay. After the lightning hit, man, it was a downpour, and I don't think a lot of people were really dressed for a monsoon.
Well, and you know, you weren't sure if you had a football game or an election night party when you walked in here. I mean, all the elections going on tomorrow, people campaigning, and you know, both schools involved with that kind of stuff, and just a big time atmosphere.
Big kick there from Alec Mauler, goes into the end zone. Touchback, and the Lutcher Bulldogs up by 3, take over here. Patterson just 8 carries for 17 yards, 2 touchdowns for Mackay. He got sacked a few times, so that's why the rushing totals are down. But a nice first half from the junior running back, Rasan Storks, the other man we highlighted prior to the start of the game as our key players for Lutcher. Number 23 for the purple and gold, 8 carries and 60 yards in the first half. Again,
well, Mackay Patterson's done just enough, really, to keep this Lutcher team in this football game. He's been steady. He's been calm under pressure. He had the 1 turnover, but really was just trying to throw the ball away.
Storks ran over 1 defender, but not the second one. Greg Rounds, who's got 10 tackles, 4 assists on the season, makes a big hit on Storks, holds him to just a couple-yard gain.
And I tell you what, Lutcher could not have drawn it up any better. You're able to keep St. James out of the end zone early in the game when this crowd was at its peak, and now it really, a lot of this crowd is gone, a lot of the emotion out of this game. This is a game that you can actually try to win.
Quick pass to Burkhalter. Burkhalter gets tripped up. Only a gain of 2. So 3rd down and 5. As Patterson completes the pass. And just 15 yards passing in the first half for Lutcher. They are 1 of 5 on 3rd down.
Yeah, just trying to get it out to Burkhalter in space. He's done a good job with that play, making defenders miss. They've run that a couple times tonight.
Storks to the right of Patterson. To the far sidelines and too high for the intended receiver, Rashawn Williams. And a 3-and-out. Good job by St. James defense. They'll get the football. Should have decent field position here.
That is just a tough throw to make. It doesn't matter what level it is, from hash to hash. Now, Patterson shows off good arm strength here, but it just, that throw is so long. You're throwing that ball about 35 yards to pick up 5 yards. And when you have to throw it across the field like that, it gives the defender time to close on the football.
Patterson averaging 30 yards a punt. He's only 5'8", and we've seen a couple of high throws from him tonight. Trying to get it over the big offensive and defensive lineman. Shamar Smith standing at his 43 to handle. Oh, bad snap. So guess who's going to run it? Patterson. Can he get the first down? Stays on it. No, he stepped out of bounds at the 28. It'll be St. James football with great field position here.
Wow, another mistake here. These are the mistakes that Coach Jenkins was concerned about. You know, you don't pick up the first down, so you want to punt it and play good defense. Snap, that was a good job just handling the snap. Gets out in the open field. I really thought he had a chance to punt it there if he wanted to, but I guess he thought he might have had a chance to run and pick up the first down, but obviously stepped out of bounds and well short there.
Snapping the football has been an issue for both teams tonight on this slick turf. Great field position for the Wildcats as they begin the second half. They had a couple of drives start in Lutcher territory in the first half. Smith will run it. Smith, they've liked that right side tonight. Big hit afterwards, and now Smith is down, slow to get up. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he went airborne there on the sideline. Looked like it got him in bounds, but I tell you what, Shamar Smith is now starting to become a real threat running the football. We saw that toward the end of the second half, and yeah, right when he goes airborne, this is when the tackler comes in and clips him. And man, that's a hard land there.
Play has been stopped here momentarily. Looks like we're going to have a new quarterback out there. Logan Gravois will be the quarterback as Smith will try to put himself back together. First down and 10. This is the third possession, by the way. Oh, they mishandled a snap. And I guess that is par for the course right now tonight for St. James. Every time they get something going, man, the snaps have just been off. Shamar Smith coming back into the game, so Gravois' night as quarterback might be one play, and that's it.
They're moving him out to wide receiver now, keeping him on the field. You don't know. He may have a little razzle-dazzle here.
5 wide receivers here now for St. James, facing second down and 12. What I was about to say was this is the third drive for St. James that has started in Lutcher territory. Smith. Oh, what a crackback block, and there's going to be a penalty. That is the right call. The defender on those blocks has to see the block coming. Back in the day, Jason, when me and you played high school football, you can just level that dude and just continue on with your day.
Yeah, no, they're going to catch LaBeouf here on the crackback, as you mentioned.
This was a rule they put in a couple of years ago. They're actually saying
targeting. They're calling. I didn't see targeting, but I guess he's saying he came up high with his. Normally we think of targeting helmet to helmet, but I think they're going to say he came up high with his arms, his hands, and hit him in the hands with his elbow. Let's see right there. Well, that still doesn't look like a targeting to me.
I just think they don't. Yeah, I don't know if it's well.
Let's see here. Let's see here. If he went up high to his head. Here it coins right there, too, in your screen.
Well, he's certainly leading with the helmet, but I don't think he really caught him with the helmet. And a Lutcher player, was that the individual who was on the other end of that hit?
Yes, that was the guy on the end.
That was Javen Williams, the junior defensive back. He was on the other end of that hit, and he's woozy heading back to the Lutcher sidelines. 5 penalties for 48 yards for St. James, and that's a big 15-yard penalty. It is second down and 25. I don't think that's right. I think they need second down and 27. They need to get to the 8-yard line. Been a tough night here for Robert Valdez and the Wildcats. Just every time they take a step forward, they take 2 steps back. It's been that kind of night. Lutcher rushes 4. Plenty of time for Smith. He'll run it. Try to pick up some of these yards back. And then runs out of bounds, avoiding any kind of contact.
Yeah, they've got to get down to about the 8 or 9 yard line to pick up a first down here. But the good news for St. James is number 7, Shaz Preston, is back in there at wide receiver. As you take a look at quarterback there, Shamar.
Shamar Smith, just a high football IQ. Has freakish skills, 4.4 speed. As you look at Shaz Preston, who's been very quiet tonight. 20 catches coming into the game, but got hurt in the first half and really haven't called his name. Need to get the ball to the 8. They'll just run it again here with Smith. Smith sheds a couple of tacklers and then is dragged to the ground by Rhett Whitney. So
almost like they're playing for the field goal. They got a good field goal kicker. And you know, playing to tie this game up. Didn't take any risk with the football. It was almost like they were committed to the field goal on that play call.
Now, Coach Valdez has told us Mahler, he can make them from 35 to 40.
Well, the key here is getting the snap down. We've seen so much trouble on the wet turf with the snap and getting a good snap and good hold.
From the 37. And he gets it through the uprights. Nicely done by the field goal unit. And we're all tied up. 8:51 to go until the fourth quarter. Lutcher and St. James all tied up in this rivalry game.
Attention all.
This is important news for people who have been exposed to the weed killer Roundup in commercial settings and later developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. According to the World Health Organization's research on cancer, the active ingredient in the weed killer Roundup, glyphosate, can cause cancers such as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup in a commercial setting such as farming, landscaping, or golf course maintenance, and then developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you could be eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. If you or a loved one were exposed to the weed killer Roundup and were then diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call the law offices of Davis and Crump right now to see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
And we're back.
This week on Yearview's High School Football Recruiting Podcast, Over the Middle, Adrian Peterson was the #1 recruit in the country in 2004. He also grew up a Texas Longhorn fan. But through some recruiting magic from Bob Stoops, Peterson ended up an Oklahoma Sooner. Jason Kersey of The Athletic will discuss how Adrian Peterson ended up in Oklahoma and more. That's the Over the Middle Podcast. Check it out at Yearview.com. Oklahoma, Texas, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. And the college football day, of course, wraps up with LSU versus Southern tomorrow night at Tiger Stadium. Mahler, a strong kick into the end zone.
Wow, showing off his leg.
He's a sophomore, so he's a guy that he looks like he's got potential to me to kick at the next level.
Yeah, he can boot it, man. He can boot it.
13-13 our score, 8:51 to go till the third quarter ends.
Oh, man, I didn't even know the kickers had their own little deal there, man. You gotta like that.
ITI Technical College scoring drive.
Now he needs like one of those chains when he kicks it into the end zone. I got to get something too. Oklahoma, Texas. What you liking that, Jeff?
Wouldn't mind seeing Texas win.
Yeah, that'd be good. Help us out.
Patterson throws to the far side. Nice little move by the receiver to move upfield. And then he gets stuffed. Rashawn Williams.
Flag comes in here. Looks like some extracurricular after the play. Normally comes in this late, some kind of personal foul.
Legal block in the back.
Lutcher's kind of fall asleep here lately, going a little lethargic on offense. Hadn't been able to move the ball. They were able to piece together a very good first half, take the lead, but they've got to get something going offensively, and this is not going to help.
Dwayne Jenkins' team backed up to their own 12-yard line.
Then you got to be careful. You know, he's played, like he's mentioned, he's played well early in games and then, just kind of beat ourselves. So can't turn the ball over here. See if they can get off a couple crisp plays and pick up a first down.
From the 12-yard line. Patterson winding up and making a nice adjustment on the ball. That's Dwayne. Don't check that. It is not Dwayne Winfield. It's Rashawn Williams. And Rashawn Williams.
Now, I don't know if this was designed, but if not, this is still a great play here by Rashawn Williams. Sometimes you will purposefully underthrow it because it's hard for the defensive back to get back to the football. But Rashawn Williams it was like he knew it was going to be underthrown because he was making his way back to the football before the defensive back even had a chance to turn around. Huge play there.
33 yards, one of the biggest offensive plays of the game. Burkhalter with a blocker ahead of him, but there is a penalty flag on the field.
Let's go, bro!
Holding penalty. And Lutcher's had 2 big penalties against him on this drive.
But I tell you what, they've been willing to take some shots down the field. I mean, we have seen them take shots down the field, both Winfield and Williams.
Pushes him back to the 37-yard line. First down and 18. Right up the middle. And they cut down Storks that time. Coming up and making the tackle, Joel Cooper. Talented, skilled player defensively with 5 tackles on the season. You look at Caleb Brown, an all-state player from a season ago. Great athlete. 24 tackles on the season coming into today's game.
Let's go, Caleb!
2nd and 14. We're all tied up at 13. Storks, big hole. Storks first down in the St. James territory. Caleb Brown in on the tackle. Another big offensive play for the Bulldogs, who overcome another penalty. 23-yard run from the junior ball carrier.
Well, really good read by Patterson. It looked like St. James was showing blitz and they backed out of it. And as soon as they backed out of it, Storks, they were able to exploit the gap right there. Big run by Storks. This offense is doing its best when Storks is getting big plays.
Patterson had trouble handling the snap, puts his head down, gets 2 yards.
Well, I cannot recall doing a game where the ball has hit the turf as many times as it has just from the snap. I mean, we've seen it. Here it is again. Ball on the turf right there. And these spread offenses, when that ball hits the turf, everything's disrupted at that point. The timing, everything's off, and typically you just see the quarterback get it and go.
Patterson, a first-year starter at quarterback. Dangerous runner, as we've seen here tonight. Couple of touchdown runs from him. Storks, he's a dangerous runner too, but he's bottled up. Maybe a yard until he's pushed back by that Wildcat defense. DeAndre Keller, 7 tackles on the season, 6'2", 270-pound senior, number 72 in it. 3-3 stack defense for St. James. Wildcats allowing 13 points a game. Lutcher's at that point right now, halfway point in the 3rd quarter. Looking at 3rd down and 6, probably 4-down territory though.
Yeah, you would have to think so.
Lutcher just 1 of 6 on 3rd downs. Patterson keeps it. And St. James covers him up. 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, I think playing it conservative there, trying to just keep it in Patterson's hand and see how close we can make this 4th down attempt.
Well, Lutcher came into the game converting on 41% of the 3rd downs, but they have not had much success here tonight. On 4th down coming into this game, just 1 of 9.
Here we go, big 4th down play here, tie football game. See if they can keep this drive alive.
Flags all over the place.
That's going to make it more difficult now.
Well, do you think about punting it, Jason?
No, I'd still go for it at this point. I mean, the problem is you punt it in the end zone from here. and you're really only picking up maybe 10 yards or so, 15 yards.
Some big penalties on this drive. That's the third one.
Defense has played pretty well.
Zach Poche, the wide receiver to the near side. They got 3 to the top of your screen. Rashawn Williams, number 12, is probably the guy they would like to get the football to. And Patterson won't have an opportunity to throw it. He is brought down for a sack to the 40. Chase Geeson on the sack, his 8th of the season, and that fires up this rain-soaked St. James fan base.
Yeah, that's a huge play. And this is, again, Patterson, this is twice tonight that he's just held on to the football too long. I know he's got folks coming at him, but you got to understand the situation. It's 4th down, so you're better off letting that football fly. Even if you throw an interception down there, letting it fly, because if not, you're going to turn the football over on downs, and the last thing you want to do is take a sack.
Loss of 6, so now from the 40-yard line for St. James.
Donald! Shoot it! Hey, Donald! Double! Tom!
Run right up the middle. LaBeouf. It's about 7. Hit in the middle of the field by Rhett Whitney. 3-year starter in the defensive secondary.
Well, St. James has been content on pounding the football. I mean, that has been how they have attacked here lately. The ground game really doing most of the damage is Shamar Smith from the quarterback position and LaBeouf from the running back position. That's kind of been the two-headed monster on these last couple of drives.
LaBeouf another carry. LaBeouf a first down. Up to the 45-yard line. Last year, the Wildcats 6-4. They beat Donaldsonville in the first round of the playoffs and then lost to North Webster 26-23. St. James in the quarterfinals in 2017 and 2016. They lost in the first round. As you look at Robert Valdez, who at West St. John won 5 district championships in 7 seasons, and in 2011, West St. John was the 2A runner-up.
What a
good run by Sean LaBeouf.
Man, what a move in the hole. And really what I think is going on here, obviously St. James wanted to impose their will on the line of scrimmage. They're doing that. But with this three-man down front, they're just picking the gaps. And they're liking their matchups with the offensive line versus the 3-down linemen of Lutcher. And they're just, good vision there by LaBeouf in the hole, but they're getting the blocks they need. And when you got a running back as talented as LaBeouf right there, good things can happen. They're content just smashing it down Lutcher's throat right now.
10 carries, 64 yards for LaBeouf. Smith to his left. Just going to try to run for the first down if he can get there, and he does. Chased out of bounds by Daquan Bowser. Another first down. Wildcats keep moving the chains late in the third quarter. St. James leads this series against Lutcher 22-18-1. Coach Valdez also coached at Scotlandville. His one season there in 2015, they went 10-2. Had Levi Lewis there, Kelvin Joseph.
Yeah.
Young Levi Lewis and young Kelvin Joseph.
I went on to play at Levi's at ULL. And
tough night the other night for the Cajuns against Appalachian State. They just can't beat the Mountaineers. 3-yard run there from Sean LaBeouf.
And where did Kelvin Joseph end up going?
Kentucky.
Kentucky, that's right. Had him here at LSU. And still could use him in that secondary. But
he could be playing right now with all the injuries they've had back there.
It's not today's era, nobody wants to wait it out.
2nd down and 7. And now, what do we have here? I thought, was that supposed to be a timeout? Whatever happened, LaBeouf's got the football. And he nearly got a first down. You think it was a trick play?
Yeah, I think that was a design. Shamar Smith coming over, acting like he's going to call a timeout, and then you direct snap it to LaBeouf, just trying to. Let's see here. Watch this. So he comes over. He's like waving, trying to distract him. Yeah, that's LaBeouf clearly knew that ball was coming, but the problem is hanging on to the football.
Yeah. Still made something out of it. He got a first down.
Probably had a hole there. Probably well designed, just with that ball hitting the ground and just throws everything off, delays it a little bit.
Big drive here for St. James. They've been grinding it, but Jamel Thomas tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Lutcher's defense has been kind of bend, but don't break, and here's another opportunity for them to see if they can at least hold St. James to a field goal. That's what they need to do. 2nd and 10. That was a good stop there on first down. This is now the down that you need to stop them, try to put them in a 3rd and long situation.
Smith got chopped down by Rhett Whitney.
That was a great tackle there by Dewey. He's done a good job just filling the hole there. From the backer position.
St. James has 15 first downs. Lutcher's got 7. And they're looking for 16 right here.
Yeah, here's the pivotal play, because I believe a tie game with the kicker you have, if you stop them here, at least don't make it 4th and short, I think they'll kick the field goal.
12 seconds on the play clock as they're finally getting set. Oh, they run into each other, but it doesn't matter. Smith's got the first down. Smith broke 3 tackles on that play. One of them was his own guy trying to bring him down.
Yeah, that was ugly the way that it started. A little miscommunication there between LaBeouf and Smith. As watch here in the backfield, they really just run into each other. LaBeouf doesn't clear, and Smith runs into him. But just being the athlete that he is, you mentioned freakish athlete. He was definitely that on that play and able to pick up the first down.
St. James now 2 of 8 on 3rd down. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Smith keeps it, dragging a couple of Bulldogs. Carter Poche was the first guy to get to him, and that will end our 3rd quarter. All tied up in this great rivalry contest between St. James and Lutcher. 2 teams giving it their all here tonight in Yearview, Louisiana.
Here in Louisiana, we play to win every single game. Under John Bell Edwards, our economy ranks dead last in America.
Eddie Risponi will win back lost jobs, reverse the Edwards tax hikes, and blitz trial lawyer control and corruption.
Louisiana shouldn't settle for last place in anything. I'm Eddie Risponi. First is where we belong. It's time to lead the South in football and in jobs.
Eddie Risponi for governor.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
And back.
We've mentioned it a couple times. St. James leads the overall series 22-18-1, but it was the Lutcher Bulldogs that won the game that mattered the most. The 2015 Class 3A state championship game, as they put it on St. James, 41-14. Lutcher was led by John Trey Kirkland, who's now with LSU, and St. James was led by Lowell Narcisse, who's now over at Texas San Antonio after a couple of stops. But the head coach for the St. James Wildcats is now the head coach the head coach for St. James, was Dwayne Jenkins, and he's now, of course, the head coach at Lutcher. Tim Detillier winning the state championship. Lutcher would repeat as state champs the next year. On the first play of the fourth quarter, getting into the end zone is Shamar Smith. And St. James retakes the lead.
Well, that was what you call a big-time drive by St. James. They just ate up most of the third quarter there and really just kept the ball on the ground. I don't believe they went to the air one time on that entire drive, and it was just 3 and 4 yards at a time there. Very patient and really, again, doing the damage with Shamar Smith and Sean LaBeouf.
Another injured Lutcher Bulldog, Marty Riley.
And that's really how you wear a team down and really just eat at them when you know they're going to run the football at you and you can't do anything to stop it. Just 3 and 4 yards. Those are body blows, keeps the defense out there for a long time and wears them down.
This for St. James is the largest lead of the night, 19-13. And the extra point is good. 20-13, Wildcats leading Lutcher. Early fourth quarter. Punishing drive for St. James as they have the lead.
My physical independence means everything. With an American Standard walk-in tub, I know that I can keep that independence as long as possible.
Enjoy over 20 comfort and safety features, like the ultra-low entry and slip-resistant flooring. Plus, 44 air and water jets surround you to soothe aches and pains. Each tub is installed by them and comes with a lifetime warranty. So call now for your free information kit, and for a limited time, get $1,500 in savings.
Call 1-800-959-3413.
Are you a victim of a...
I'm Leslie Hoffman. It's important to limit processed foods in your child's diet, as a diet high in processed foods has significant effects on overall health during development. Studies have linked the overconsumption of processed foods to various diseases and behavioral disorders. So while it may be tempting to feed your kids processed foods out of convenience, it's not worth the long-term effects.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Asbestos manufacturers sold deadly asbestos materials to thousands of companies, putting workers at risk. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be entitled to a portion of these funds and receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or ever going to court.
For your free legal consultation, call 1-800-209-4389. That's 1-800-209-4389. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
We have a penalty on the kickoff after the touchdown drive by St. James. Tony Collins and his crew will figure things out here as there was block in the back, holding penalty, or face mask penalty.
Well, either one, it's going to set Lutcher back to start this offensive drive, and they really haven't done much in this second half, so let's see if they can get their offense going.
Really good drive there for St. James, their best of the night, taking nearly 5 minutes off the clock. 6 rushes by LaBeouf for 37 yards, 5 rushes for Smith for 23 yards, and of course, he got into the end zone. And we'll see if Lutcher's offense can respond here with Mekhi Patterson. They have done really nothing in the second half. Had a nice little drive there on their last possession, but penalties kept hurting them. Lutcher trying to get back to the 500 mark with a win here, and Storks goes nowhere. He's had a nice night rushing the football, but DeAndre Keller and the Wildcat D, along with Chase Geeson, there on the stop. Maybe 2 yards on that pickup for Storks. He's got 91 yards rushing on 13 carries. Patterson over the middle. Caught. Oh, and then he dropped it.
Wow.
Incomplete. It was right there in the hands of Chris Burkhalter, who just did not look it in.
Well, again, one of the things Coach Jenkins emphasized is you look on paper, you may think Mekhi Patterson's not very accurate, but he is extremely accurate on that throw, and one of the problems they've had, too, this season is drop balls. And, I mean, the situation in this game and where your offense is right now, that is a catch you have to have.
Lutcher just 1 of 7 on 3rd downs. Patterson throwing deep, incomplete, nobody there.
Yeah, miscommunication. Thought there was going to be a double move there, and the receiver hitched up. The ball just airmailed. Now you're going to have to punt the football.
A 3-and-out that Lutcher did not need offensively.
No, and it shouldn't have been. That's a big drop by Burkhalter. One, because of the field position you're going to give them. You get that catch and you get a first down, this offense gets going, and that's the frustration Jenkins is showing right now. He knows that drive should not have ended right there. Well-designed play, good thrown football. It just didn't make the catch.
3 of 10 for 48 yards for Patterson with an interception. Patterson to punt it away. Low punt. Going to take a Lutcher bounce, and this is a little break that the Bulldogs certainly needed. We'll take a break. When we come back, St. James will start at their own 42 after a 42-yard punt. 20-13 our score.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow-cooked, fall-off-the-bone perfection. And the best baked beans in America.
They say politics changes people. But don't tell that to John Bell Edwards. He's led our state through a budget crisis and natural disasters, expanded health care for working people, invested in students and teachers, and grew our economy. Through it all, he served with honesty and integrity, never losing sight of what's important or compromising who he is. He's still John Bell, still one of us.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by Visit Baton Rouge. It's not just the capital city, it's the hub of all things Louisiana. Find out more about all the Red Stick has to offer at visitbatonrouge.com.
Game Time on Your View thanks Louisiana Lift for their support of this telecast, specializing in customer service on equipment rentals, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving customers since 1980. You can check them out online at lalift.com or call their New Orleans area office at area code 504-463-3400. Jeff Palermo, Jason DeQuire, Kate Adams, glad you can be with us on this Friday night. St. James, Lutcher. A lot of the emotion of this game taken out by the lightning delay, but it's still been a fun game to watch. And St. James with another great drive here, Jason, can put this game out of reach possibly. We'll see what happens. They kept it on the ground the last drive for 11 plays, and they start this drive on the ground again.
Yeah, and again, I think Lutcher's going to have to commit more men in the box. I know they're trying to stop this run with the 3-down linemen and the linebackers playing about at their usual position, but you're going to have to start plugging those gaps. You're going to have to start picking and choosing what gaps you want to cut off there. If not, they're just going to continue to take it 3 and 4 yards, and it's going to be hard to stop them, and they're going to chew this game up.
2nd down and 6. And St. James not in a hurry to run any plays. 11 seconds on the play clock. LaBeouf gets another carry, making some nice moves and showing the strength there. Got it up to the 46. Yeah, a 9-yard run.
You're going to, I mean, until Lutcher, this little cat and mouse game, until Lutcher brings more people around the line of scrimmage, St. James is going to continue running the same play, and it's effective. Just picking a gap, getting effective blocks, and moving the chains and really just killing this clock. And if they continue at this pace, like you said, and put more points up, Jeff, that could put the game out of reach. Yeah, they're methodical. They're going to use up all the play clock. But again, you can see the front that they're playing. You see the 3-down linemen, linebackers back there 5 yards, and they're just going to keep eating those gaps up. I mean, that is what they're doing. And as long as they show that defense, St. James is going to continue running the football.
LaBeouf, who has been on this St. James team since his freshman season, a senior, another guy committed to the military academy.
They're consistent, man. We can't break the streak, Jeff.
No, we have had, I think every game we've had somebody committed to one of the military academies, whether Army, Navy, Air Force. 2nd down and 4. We were telling that to Robert Valdez, and he told us Army and Navy, they have figured it out that there's some good players in Louisiana, and they've been recruiting heavily in this area, and it's shown. Some nice running here from Shamar Smith, who will likely be a wide receiver at the next level. And he ran over a Lutcher defender, and you're starting to feel St. James starting to really enforce their will in this game. A 9-yard carry for the senior QB.
Yeah, this time showing a little different look, kind of a little rollout run play there. But that was just all Shamar Smith, just making something happen, using his athletic ability out in the open field and making players miss.
At the 30, 2 turnovers in this game for St. James's offense. Lutcher would love to force another one right here. LaBeouf for about 4 before Ty Cooper got a hold of him and threw him to the ground.
Yeah, Lutcher is going to have to sell out. I mean, you gotta start forcing Shamar Smith to at least think about throwing the football. I mean, you got to bring some of these linebackers in, bring some of your safeties in, and commit to stopping the run.
LaBeouf, 17 carries now, 100 yards. 2nd down and 6. LaBeouf again. And still getting 3 or 4 yards before Lutcher's defense can finally get a hold of him and bring him down. 3rd down coming up here, so this is the chance here for Lutcher maybe to put an end to this drive.
Yeah, and with a 1-score lead here.
3rd down and 3. St. James just 2 of 8 on 3rd downs. And they get Lutcher to jump off sides. How about that veteran move by the senior?
And this is the one time Lutcher actually changed their defense. You get a chance to look at it. They bring a lot more people to the line of scrimmage. They were going to sell out on the run. They were going to bring some pressure. But they ended up jumping off sides.
8 penalties for 80 yards. And again, that was our first key in this game for Lutcher. Avoid the avalanche in mistakes. I wouldn't say it's been an avalanche here, but they're piling up. I'll say that. They're coming slowly, but the amount of mistakes are really starting to pile on here and making life difficult for Lutcher in the second half. 5 penalties in the second half. LaBeouf again.
Yeah, they're just...
breaking tackles inside the 10.
I'm very surprised that Lutcher is not changing their defense here and not bringing more people into the box. But as long as they're playing this defense, they're content running the football and taking their chances there, running in these gaps.
LaBeouf has shown a great ability to make some cuts, find the right hole to run through.
No, he's a football player. He's a complete back, and probably Navy just in the school of that size just because of his size. Not the biggest guy, but I tell you what, he plays a lot bigger than he is at breaking tackles.
2nd and 1, keeping it as Smith. Smith makes a move. Smith drags a tackler, gets to the goal line, and is stopped just short. Seven-yard run for Shamar Smith.
Well, you get that inside running game going, and then guess what? The outside opens up for you, and Shamar Smith just showing you his determination and will, physical ability on that run.
From the 1-yard line, inside the ITI Technical College red zone, a whistle before the snap. Might be on Lutcher. It is. Now So Shamar Smith is up to 93 yards rushing. They're going to have 2 ball carriers. Will St. James most likely over 100 yards. Not very far to go here. Quarterback sneak.
It'll be close. Couldn't see it down there in the scrum, but no signal. Didn't look like he got there.
Well, the benefit here for St. James, they're able to run some more clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see if we can pick it up. The nose of that football is right there on the goal line. And that's a good play there. Just reaching over the top and being able to get the ball carrier before he got any momentum going.
Under 5 minutes to go, 20 seconds on the play clock. Shamar Smith. See if they just try to do the same thing. Need a little bit more push this time. I don't think he got them.
No, I don't think he did either. They're not. No signal. Yeah, there you go.
I do give him the touchdown. If he got there, it was barely across the goal line. And now St. James pulling away from their parish rival. 26-13 to score.
See Shamar Smith there. It's the workhorse tonight. Him and LaBeouf on the offensive side really kept the ball in their hands 90% of the time.
Alec Mahler, who's been impressive tonight. Good snap, good hold, and he gets it through. 4:43 left to go. Lutcher will need to mount a massive comeback. This is Game Time on Your View.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Here in Louisiana, we play to win every single game. Under John Bell Edwards, our economy ranks dead last in America.
Eddie Risponi will win back lost jobs, reverse the Edwards tax hikes, and blitz trial lawyer control and corruption.
Louisiana shouldn't settle for last place in anything. I'm Eddie Risponi. First is where we belong. It's time to lead the South in football and in jobs.
Eddie Risponi for governor.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak, and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people.
27-13, St. James trailed 13-10 at halftime, but they are pulling away now. Up by 2 touchdowns. The ITI Technical College scoring drive. 2 really grueling drives for St. James offense.
Yeah, that's the difference in the game because they were able to eat up clock in both of those drives, smash the football. They didn't really even put it up in the air on either one of those drives. And, you know, they wanted to win the line of scrimmage and be more physical. They've done that here in the second half.
The first drive, well, I'll get to it here in a second. Return from the 3. Rashawn Williams gets up to the 27. Two drives ago was 11 plays, 60 yards, took 4 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock. That drive, 10 plays, 58 yards, took over 6 minutes off the clock. 21 plays, 118 yards, milking 11 or nearly 11 minutes off the clock, and all the carries were by either Shamar Smith or Sean LaBeouf.
Number 2 and number 3, Lutcher defense going to see that in their sleep, and that's a whole quarter's worth of time off the clock.
Lutcher will keep it on the ground as they're down by 2 touchdowns with 4:30 left to go.
Well, if they want to get back in this game, they're going to have to play somewhat of a hurry up here. High tempo. They're going to have to take some shots down the field. I mean, if you can punch one in the end zone, you could then try an onside kick and maybe try to tie this game up right at the the closing bell here.
Patterson under pressure. Keeping it with the pump fake. See if he can get a couple blocks. Makes another guy miss. What a run by Patterson to get the ball into St. James territory. Football comes out, but he was down. But a great run, 18 yards by Mekhi Patterson.
But I think he ran 60.
You're right about that.
Hey, look, he starts on one side of the field. Really, he had his guy right here on the hitch. He didn't see him to the left. But there he fakes it, breaks a couple tackles, gets out into the open field. You can see those legs getting a little tired, but still able to put a couple moves on and puts his team in good field position.
Caleb Brown finally made the tackle. Storks off the right side. Gets spun down to the ground by DeAndre Keller. Gain of 4.
And if you're going to take the shots running, that means you really got to hurry. You got to move. You got to be ready to snap this ball. I don't disagree with running the football, particularly since you know St. James is going to be playing back a little bit. But you got to be in a hurry.
2nd down and 4. Patterson under a lot of pressures. Gets away from it again. How does he keep doing it? Houdini out there. Gets to the 41. 3rd down and 3. That should have been 3rd down and 15. Instead, it's 3rd and 3.
Yeah, you're right. They brought pressure trying to get to him and able to. I thought they were going to have him right there and just able to turn the corner and stay in bounds.
With him getting out of bounds, that at least stopped the clock with just over 3 minutes to go. Now, Lutcher has really struggled on 3rd down tonight, 1 of 8. Patterson, quick throw, complete, got a blocker, and it got a little bit more.
Oh, wow.
Big tackle there on Williams. Touchdown saving tackle by Ja'Cory Esther. 12-yard pass play.
Tell you what, Esther doesn't make this thing. Then Rashawn Williams is off and in the end zone. Rashawn Williams had a good night. We saw him catch a big ball earlier in this half.
To the 28. Best drive of the second half for Lutcher. Patterson. What will he do here? Throws towards the end zone. Batted around, intercepted. That should be your ball game. And now St. James is on the return. Could he take it to the house? Oh, his own man brought him down. Wow. Brad Batiste saw 6, but he was basically tackled by his own guy. Actually, that's Joel Cooper, number 18, not 16, but a 71-yard return by Joel Cooper.
And Tyler Steib got him right at it. Look, he was slowing down. Actually, he was in the clear, and I know Steib was just trying to get out in front of him. Well, watch the tip drill. Here's what you work on. And you can't fault Patterson. He's just trying to make a play here towards the end of the game. And a good job by 7 coming back to the football. That's Winfield, but the old tip drill. And Cooper able to come down with the football, but watch him get hit right here, too. Just gave up his whole body to throw that ball down the field.
Caleb Brown, nice job.
Watch Steib. He's in the open field and just, man, didn't see his guy on the side of, and he's so tired at that point. Any little nick is going to make him fall down, and just kind of bumped into him. Watch him bump into him just inadvertently right there.
Yeah. 27-13, the Wildcats are ready to become 6-0. Let's go down to Kate Adams. Kate?
Well, obviously a huge interception by Cooper. This is exactly what Coach Valdez wanted to see when I talked to him during halftime. Look, they're also going to bring out a turnover chain. It's one of the things that is keeping these Wildcats motivated all season, and they made sure that this year it's extra bedazzled, basically. So I'm sure we'll see that out here soon. Back to you.
That is one of the more bling-bling turnover chains I've seen.
Turnover chains have grown, man. They used to be just the gold part of it. Now you got all kinds of medallions and stuff.
Look at the eyes on that Wildcat. Run off the left side here for LaBeouf inside the 20. So St. James will improve to 6-0. A bit of a scare here tonight, but in the second half, they finally got it going. LaBeouf in pain as he comes to the sidelines. And for St. James after this week,
that's his dad right there behind him, Elmo LaBeouf, looking at him. Oh, he is in pain. Hopefully just the wind got knocked out of him.
Lutcher, they'll play Berwick next week. As Smith into the end zone, touchdown. What a second half for the Wildcats. 18-yard run as they have outscored Lutcher in the second half 23-0.
Well, turnovers in this run game. This run game of St. James, Lutcher has just not been able to handle it at all in the second half. And it's just been all Smith and LaBeouf and nothing they could do about it. Couple touchdowns on the night for Smith.
The extra point try here is good. As St. James leading their parish rival 34-13. Tonight, St. James is honoring the 1979 state championship team. More on that. Here's Kate Adams.
Look, Coach Wagasback, they are recognizing him and his Wildcats for that 1979 state championship. He's actually the only Louisiana prep coach to take two different teams to undefeated state championships. But what was important to him was basically motivating his players that if you put your mind to it, you can basically accomplish anything you want to. Take a look.
Believe it or not, the first year I was an assistant coach, we won a state championship. And that really told me that's what I wanted to do. When I became a head coach, you always dream of winning a state championship. Well, I tried to stress that when I had them under my wing, that you can be what you want to be, and you can achieve what you want to do. All you have to do is dedicate yourself to whatever career you want to be, and you will be successful.
James Wagasback passed away in July. I know he is missed greatly here at St. James. But he would be proud of how the Wildcats have played here tonight, beating their parish rivals soundly in the second half after really a rough first half. But they got themselves sorted out at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the score, you're going to think, oh, this was a rout. But really, this thing didn't open up until, late towards the second half into the third quarter when St. James just decided, you know what, we're just going to smash the football. And they ran the football well, and Lutcher couldn't stop it. And they ate up most of the clock, and, thus your score here.
The career record for Coach Wagasback, 231 and 145 in 32 seasons. Won a state championship with Cecilia in 1995. That 79 team for St. James, they defeated Wassman in overtime. Now, if you're wondering if there's maybe a trophy that is, whoever wins this game, the school keeps a trophy, they don't have one.
Yeah.
The two schools can't agree on what the trophy should be.
Actually, they said they can't agree on anything. So we don't even talk to each other.
So there's no trophy to be had here tonight. It's just bragging rights for the next 365.
That's right. That's right.
And in a way, I kind of like that. I'm not a big fan of all these trophies.
Yeah.
I think some of them get a little silly. Dwayne Winfield, he's going to be the future quarterback for Lutcher one day, getting a chance to run the football. Again, this kid is someone they are really excited about. Just a freshman, has a 100-yard receiving game this year. And again, only two other freshmen in Lutcher history have done that. Jarvis Landry and Gregory Clayton. So those are Jarvis Landry. Everybody knows who he is. Gregory Clayton was also a great wide receiver at Lutcher. So Dwayne Winfield got a
This kid's going to be a stud.
Yes.
Man. I mean, you see, he already looks developed, to be playing at this level as a freshman. But, I mean, you're talking about next year, junior year, senior year. Put him on your radar.
There are a lot of good young players on this Lutcher team. Tonight was not their night. St. James Wildcats took care of business in the second half, outscoring the Bulldogs 24-0. Shamar Smith, Sean LaBeouf, and that St. James offensive line finally started getting a push. And the Wildcats run away with this one, and the #1 team in Class 3A improves to 6-0, while Lutcher falls to 2-4. We'll have our post-game activities from St. James High School when we come back. This is Game Time on Yearview, Louisiana.
Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS? If so, you may qualify for the IRS Fresh Start program, so you won't have to make any payments to the IRS. That's right. If you qualify for the IRS Fresh Start program, you won't make any IRS payments once you are accepted. Once you're in the IRS Fresh Start program, the IRS will stop all harassing and threatening collection activities. Call Fidelity Tax Relief at 800-430-2910 to see if you qualify. 800-430-2910.
When you're hiring or looking for a great new job, use our community job site, ericsjobs.com. We've helped hundreds of area employers connect with local talented job seekers to fill positions of all kinds. Here's what some local employers are saying about our service.
We have hired over 20 people from our postings. You have been an incredible resource for our company.
With thousands of current local job seekers, you will find the people you need. ericsjobs.com, $25 job postings.
It's only a matter.
Looks like you're not sleeping well.
How did you know?
And Megan!
Hey, you're that guy.
The My Pillow guy. That's right, and I'm here to help you get the best sleep of your lives. Just like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. I had tried every pillow out there and none of them worked. That's why I invented My Pillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck aligned. My Pillow will hold its shape all night long regardless of your sleep position for the best sleep of your life.
Call or go to mypillow.com. Use the promo code and save over 50% with Mike's 4-pack. You'll get 2 MyPillow premiums and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. It's one of his best offers ever.
You're sleeping better.
Much better.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
And back.
Bragging rights for the next 365 days belongs to St. James as they defeated their parish rivals here tonight, beating Lutcher 34-13. Bulldogs had a 13-10 lead at halftime, but St. James eventually got the running game going, and Sean LaBeouf was a big part of that. Great game for him, and he is our player of the game in this contest.
Yeah, Sean LaBeouf had a great game, but these coaches for St. James, they were determined in this second half that we're just going to smash the ball, run it right at Lutcher. They were able to do it all second half long between Shamar Smith and Sean LaBeouf, and really taking all that time off the clock and Lutcher's offense stalling resulted in the score you have tonight.
Well, let's take a look at the highlight package we've put together of the Navy commitment. Really nice run tonight, or nice game tonight with his patient running. Just finding the holes, making guys miss, and never easy to bring down.
No, great vision. That was great vision there, getting to the outside and getting into the end zone.
Over 100 yards tonight for Sean LaBeouf. And for the season, he's now approaching 500 yards rushing for the entire season. Let's send it down to the field and Kate Adams.
Senior running back Sean LaBeouf with me. Obviously an incredible game for you. Actually the second game this season with over 100 yards rushing. You had a touchdown tonight. Just talk about what was working for your offense.
I mean, our offensive line was blocking well. I mean, overall, we cleaned up the mistakes that we made in the first half.
Guys, y'all get back.
we started getting a push. We started to come together. You know, coach put up a great game plan for us to, you know, come through and just pound the ball in. We wanted to play a physical ball game and, you know, make a statement.
Well, you and the Wildcats are now 6-0 in the season. Big hopes to try to make another trip to the championship this year here in 2019. What does your team need to continue to do to make that dream come true?
We got to stay disciplined. Number one, on and off the field. You know, we got to come to practice, work hard, you know, do all the simple things. You know, the simple things matter.
Well, they definitely do. Coach Valdez not too happy with some of the mistakes in the first half, but it looks like you guys were definitely able to clean that up in the second half. Just talk about the incredible performance by your team, both on defense and on offense.
Well, I believe that we got the best defense in the state. You know, offense, you know, we got the ability, you know, to score quick, fast. We got some mobile guys. You know, we got some guys that can even play quarterback a little bit. You know, we can change up a little bit.
Well, I know you've been working on your speed. You can also catch. Look, you're kind of the player that everybody wants to have. Just talk about what has been working for you to really improve.
Well, it's hard to say, but, you know, I just go to practice every day. You know, I work hard. I work my butt off in the classroom, on and off the field. You know, I just try to improve myself as a person, not just as a football player.
Well, you're in your senior year. You're a commit to Navy, but obviously a wonderful fall football season for you guys. What's your favorite memory so far?
I don't have a favorite memory yet till we make it to the state championship.
Well, that will definitely be a memory you will forever have if you guys are able to make it. So good luck the remainder of the season, and congrats on the win tonight and being 6-0.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Kate. Great job down there tonight, and great running there by Sean LaBeouf. Let's take a look at our play of the game now from tonight's win for St. James. And for that, going back to pass here. Patterson looking for somewhere to go. Ball knocked around, and here comes Joe Cooper back the other way.
And everything went right for St. James on this play, but the very end, it was a great tip ball drill by Cooper. But watch at the very end, his own guy, Stibe, runs right into him and tackles him for a touchdown. That's about the only way St. James could be stopped tonight.
Was that kind of night? Pretty strong comments there by Sean LaBeouf. He thinks St. James has the best defense in the state, and they really did it in the second half for sure, shutting out the Lutcher Bulldogs. So the final score in this game, 34-13. St. James just had a tough start in this football game. I don't know if they got caught up in the emotion, maybe overlooking Lutcher a little bit. They see the Bulldogs are down 2-3. I know that's hard to say when you're playing your parish rival and your biggest rival that maybe you're not ready for the game, but I thought Lutcher was, that's for sure. But St. James, once they were able to stop the mistakes, they were not to be stopped at all in the second half.
Well, the mistakes, and remember, St. James had a chance to really throw a knockout blow early in the game.